So welcome to the first 2022. Almost said 2021 just out of habit.
God, no, not again.
Yeah, let's do it again.
We're doing it again. We're actually going back to the first episode. So you're in an inn. You know.
Oh no! I don't drink or touch anything.
It's 2022, the second.
Yes. Yeah, I've heard that one a lot, and it's,
God, I hope
it's
not.
just terrifying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really. Can't do it again.
Alrighty. So we left off on. Well, we'll do a recap after that.
Bragwin, thank you so much, and thank you, Laura.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know if somebody was playing something.
Oh, no, it was Bragwin's resub. So,
you mean playing something on the stream? Sorry.
Yes.
Of course.
I know there's sound clips that just like scream things like "I can see the future," things like that. All right. So last time, the penultimate episode of 2021 was actually when coincidentally, not even planned at all, the group, or at least most of the group, managed to finally get out of the Underdark. While Mark grabbed both Stool and Rumpin' the Myconids in fear that they wouldn't make it on their own, and both stealthed and hoofed it back to Gracklstugh with them, the rest of the group made their way up through the Duergar's prescribed route and emerged into the above world. Once again, next to a farm with a halfling family in it.
Sheep with 3 heads.
We have a bunch of sheep with 3 heads. No, we haven't seen any of those yet.
Yeah,
and they seem to be, jovial, very welcoming. You haven't had a lot of discussion with them yet because they've been trying to shove food in your face. You got well fed.
Oh, right.
Everybody did. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, while that was happening, Mark made his way back to Gracklstugh after managing to avoid all of the bad stuff on the random encounter list. And he found a city essentially under siege, light siege. A lot had changed in the past week or two that you had been gone from it. There are roving bands of demons all over the place. And the city is holding them off, but, it's essentially a pseudo siege. It is difficult for the people outside the walls of Gracklstugh to survive, although they seem to be doing so. And the city is just completely holed up and is completely on lockdown with the military on the walls, constantly shooting and fending off any demon packs that happen to see what's going on and rush at them. So far, they don't really seem to be developing a whole lot of casualties, but that's not often the point of sieges. But the demons don't seem to be particularly organized. There just seems to be a lot of them. So we have a choice here. So we have a party split. There is some things that people want to do on the surface, and there are also, I'm assuming, things that the person below the surface wants to do. So
I'm learning my new spell.
You're learning your new spell. Okay. Yep, there's some studying happening, some stuff going on there. Up above, Rod will actually say his goodbyes to those. He'll give you a big old punch in the shoulder to everybody. He does that to Glabagul and figures out that was probably a bad idea. And he says, I will head off, shaman. I will head off, warrior, to the mountains, the spine of the world, and take my place among the tribe again. Maybe kill chieftain there. I think I could be chieftain now. If you come this way, then you shout my name, and if I am chieftain, then they will let you pass. If I am not chieftain, they will probably try and kill you. So you'll know if I have succeeded by that.
So I wish you the best of luck.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. Yes, if you use magic to contact me, just don't make it surprising. Otherwise, I might embarrass myself in front of Troy. And he shoulders his axe and he takes off north towards the spine of the world. Glabagol, of course, is just there. He seems to kind of be following everybody around, but he does express an interest in trying to go somewhere that allows him to learn more about the world around him. He doesn't particularly know where that is, and he's following everybody's lead, but that's it. Bren says that he's still been in contact with you, Mark, and of course, through the sendings. That hasn't stopped. He tells the above surface world that he has a very vested interest in trying to figure out what happened to his master. But he is not going to leave the exit to the cave until Mark returns or is instructed to do otherwise. So if you have business that you want to conduct elsewhere, then he will stay here. Plus, a lot of the kids in the family really like the talking dog, so it's not a bad gig. So Kralin also seems to be, he's obviously having some restless sleep and some issues, and he tests and says, I would like to visit the temple with your help as soon as possible. I really, really feel that I must atone and take rest there for a while to recover, but I would very, very much appreciate it if you accompanied me and helped me with that.
I will do whatever I can in my power to get you the help you need.
Thank you. Let's see. You don't have anyone particular bugging you about anything, Liam?
You're just kinda... Yeah. I was actually just thinking I'm going to wait for an opportunity when Taston is by himself, and it's not that I don't trust your brother, but if you'd like me to accompany you to have someone else watching your back, I'll go with you.
Also, I don't trust your brother at all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why did you bring that up?
Yeah. Wait a minute.
I'm not saying I don't trust your brother,
but
I'm saying I'm
not saying. I would thank you for your company, both to the temple and then to hopefully help both of us speedily return to Mark and Gracklestug. So.
Very well.
Yeah, I'm hoping with all due haste. Question becomes, how far are we from main civilization or main, Temple of Kelmvor that I can...
So...
Can I get in an Uber? It really is.
Can you get an Uber?
Yeah.
Well, so there's a couple options to figure it out. The first is you could just make up either either survival or history. There's also the halfling there who probably would know the general locale, because there's not a landmark around here that just be like, oh, well, this is obviously where we are. All you really know is that from the Duergar is that you, and I guess from the halfling, because funny you told you last time, is you're close to Hillsfar. And we talked about Hillsfar last time, so... but as a reminder, it's a hive of scum and villainy that has become slightly less so recently, but still, it's not great.
We may not want to deliver your brother to Hillsfar.
Yeah, we may want to go to the next town over.
Yeah, for Kelimvor, you do know that there is one in Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
That's a pretty famous one. There is, that's like a pretty famous one. There's shrines and stuff that are scattered around. as well. So you could look for one of those. It just depends on where you want to go. There's one in, let's see, Ormath, which is, where in the world is Ormath? Hold on a second. You know what? I should just bring up a map of.
I'm literally doing that right now. I'm like, okay,
I was about to
As-
say, by the way,
Where
doesn't
are we?
Athlica also have a Kellumbor temple in it?
I'm sorry?
Athlica, capital of Am.
It may. I'm literally trying to look up. I'm literally like looking through the list of right now. If you say it's there, there's probably one there.
I'm pretty sure that. Oh, here, hang on. Here we go. Here's the big ones. Timora is the other big Ilmater. Oh, it doesn't actually mention it. And there probably is one there. Athlica is a gigantic trade city, but
Yeah, I mean, basically any major city you go to, unless there's some specific weirdness going on there, is going to have some sort of, at the very, very least, shrine to Kellumbor. Not exactly an unpopular dude. This map just will not blow up for some reason. Let's see if this will work. Okay, so let's see. Skullspire, coast of the Lake of Steam. Where is that in relation to you? That's a good thing they use completely different maps. That's great.
If the stream freezes for a moment, apologies.
So I found Baldur's Gate,
Mhm.
heading east, looking for Hillsfar as a reference point.
So Hillsfar is going to be near the coast because it's a trading city. And it is, let's see, where
This
are
map
you?
is subpar then. We'll try again.
Yeah, so Hillsfar. Does this map not have it on there? It's also near Elventree, if you're able to find out how the Elventree is. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I bet that it's not on this one. Okay. So look for the Moonsea, if that's labeled on the map.
Moonshae. You have fallen stars. Moonsea. Okay, got it.
Okay. And Hillsfar should be on like the southwestern area of that.
Got it. Okay.
It's near, actually, this probably would have been a better log. It's near Comantor, Comantor Forest.
Yes. Okay.
No, so that's right. You know, roughly around that area.
Okay. So it's going to be a bit of a hike to Baldur's Gate.
Mhm.
Um,
I will say, I want to say Silvery Moon is nearby. I think so. That would also be another
Scardale, Shadowdale,
place.
Daggerdale, Mistdale, Daledale.
Yeah. Once upon a time, there used to be a searchable map where you could just look these things
Oh,
up,
God, that'd be
and
nice.
I don't know where it went. So Silvery Moon should be, well, it may be more north actually, because I'm seeing it's next to Spine of the World. So let's see, spawn in the world. Or
Where'd you pop out? Because I'm staring at a really nice, big, super huge map.
so near Hillsfar, next to the Cormanthor Forest and Hillsfar specifically, so north of the Cormanthor Forest.
Forest, give me a minute. Ah! I don't see the forest. What's the forest near?
Around.
Hillsfar. So you're looking. All right. So Hillsfar is. Actually, I may have said the Sword Coast. That was actually completely wrong because I was thinking of something else. So look, if you're looking at the east, where that other part of the coast is, that's more where Hillsfar should be. Because you got the Moonsea, and there's an intersection of some trade roads north of the Cormanthor Forest that has Hillsfar, has Elventree, Flans over there. There's probably a big thing it's called Myth Draenor near the middle of the Cormanthor Forest. Oh, Zental Keep's nearby. That's cool.
So forgive me for my ignorance. So let's rewind this a bit. Where are you relative to the Anarok?
Anarok,
really,
east.
really big.
Yeah,
thing.
Anarok. It's going to be about southeast of Anarok.
Okay.
More east than south.
There's the Stormhorn. There's Cormyr. There's Sembia. There's the Dalelands.
Yep. Go if you're looking at Dalelands, go up north. Yep.
I see Hillsfar. There you are. Wow, you are way out there. That is almost outside of the Sword Coast. You are nowhere near anything.
Well, I mean,
Silvery Moon, by the way, is way up by the Evermoors in the northwest part of that entire section.
And Baldur's Gate's going to be a hike.
And Othlica and everything else. I thought you were up there. That's why I was suggesting stuff.
The good thing is that's basically a main trade route. So it's not like you're in the middle of nowhere. You're just not next to where you need to be.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's also the possibility of getting a ship too, because you can board one in Hillsfar. I know to the east there's also Mulemaster. Another place you probably want to go to, but it's better than Hillsfar. They got magic secret police there though, so you probably don't want to go there with a wizard.
How about Selgaunt? That might work.
Where is that?
South through Sembia. It's on the Sea of the Fallen Stars.
Oh, I see. Selgaunt.
You basically have to go through the forest to get there, and then across Sembia. But I remember Selgaunt. I'm not sure why off the top of my head. I know it's a port city. I know it's a trade city.
Yep, large merchant port. Sea of Fallen Stars. Let's look at the Religiones here. High fashion city, actually. They got some nice stuff here.
There you go. That sounds like your kind of place.
Notable locations, temples, and shrines. All right. This is no wonder. The very first one, Bright Lady's Tower, a temple dedicated to Sunune. They got the next one up is Firehair's House, which is to Sune. Benir, House of Song, Ogma.
Here's a dumb question. Third, can you give me link item allowances in tabletop?
Oh, sure. It's probably just a promote right here.
Probably. How to do this.
So it doesn't specifically mention Kelemvor, but this will probably be a very friendly. It's not one of the major temples, but it would probably be very friendly towards it. And they certainly have at least some sort of shrine here.
I actually can't do it. I can't link it to anything.
Really?
And this is south of Hillsfar.
There's the image I'm looking at in chat.
Yeah,
I was just going to put it in tabletop server if it's you what I was looking at.
It is, it's a bit south of Hillsfar, but it's a main trade route all the way. Orduland, hold on a second. The former capital of it was destroyed in a rift. Okay, never mind. Don't go there.
Okay. What's this crater?
Well,
This is dumb, but I'm going to Google temples of Kelemvor by city and see what I can find.
So I don't know about you. I just Googled that too for the hell of it. The very first response is the Baldur's Gate Temple of Kelemvor,
yeah.
because it's
Of course
rather
it
well
is.
known and it's in several stories. It's in a couple of comics.
Mhm.
It's just, damn it.
Ormastolon, Ormbatar. I mean, hey, you could be a trailblazer and go to a place and try and establish a temple there. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, that would give Mark time to set up his criminal empire.
It's true.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be in a white suit, just be like, so
I'm telling you.
welcome back to my city.
Make yourself
Just
at home
taking over
here.
Dragonstug.
Mhm. Who's that over there? Don't bother Vanessa.
I should probably mention to try and speed this up a little bit. The Doom guides, they roam a lot. So
Right.
you could probably just pick a town and there is a relatively good chance there's going to be some kind of Kelemvor set up there.
Well, I mean, Taston is almost kind of a Doom guide himself.
I'm,
don't think
I'm up,
formally
I'm
part
up
of
for
that
review
order, but-
next quarter. So
Yeah, right. Got to go in front of the board.
yeah.
It's all politics, really.
Yeah.
You should have had it 3 years ago. But
Do you like undead? No. You're a Doom guide. You've passed.
Answer.
Yeah. No, I mean, Laura's right. If you go to any of the places that are major areas that are not just downright unfriendly, or I say friendly towards undead, then you will probably be able to find something.
Okay. Yeah,
Because Kelemvor is not a deity that you generally want to spite.
Okay. Yeah, I figured we could just hit town to town as we head kind of southwest.
Okay.
you meet a
So-
wandering warlock who's like, I've always wondered about Kelemvor. Maybe I should
Uh-huh.
join your party. Well,
There are warlocks of the dead.
there are. There's actually 2 different types I found out when I was
Mhm.
building my character.
Fortuitous.
There's one. It's basically there's one that's evil, which is exactly what you think it is. But then there's one that's like of Kelemvor, right? Like his whole thing is retaining the sanctity and clarity. That it gets a whole lot of prevent death kind of spells. It's really cool.
Yep. Okay, so is that? It sounds like that's the destination for the above ground crew.
Hey, Cesaro.
All right, so you've got a bit of traveling to do. The halfling family will load you up with stuff for your journey, although it's nowhere near enough to make it the entire way. But it's like, I think you'll be fine. You know, you look like hardy adventurers. You'll manage. You ever scavenged anything before on your journey?
Yes.
All right. Well, you'll do just fine then. And there's friendly folks along the way that will probably take you in, that sort of stuff. But the places have gotten a bit worse nowadays. So I'd be careful, but I don't think, I mean, just from the looks of you, anyone's probably not really going to mess with you unless they just want a whole world of hurting coming to them. It's just not a good idea. You all have an air of menace, especially since you've got gelatinous cube, a glowing sword, and you're hauling around a bunch of scrolls and potions with you. They either have to be really powerful or really stupid.
Yeah, a little column A, a little column B.
Yeah, you know, there's always that kind of stuff. And listen, I know that folks would be. There's been some problems in some of the locations around here. So if you meet any folks, I just ask for myself that you help them with whatever they need along the way. Right?
Quests are good. So you should do the quest.
Level up.
Yeah, this one's got an exclamation point above his head.
Yeah, that's right. There's been a lot of that going around, just these big yelling, glowing exclamation points just traveling over people's heads. You can always tell when there's something wrong with the world when a bunch of people just suddenly sprout those up.
Mm-hmm. A lot of work needing done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tazara. And as always, greatly appreciate. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hopefully this year is better than the past.
Please.
But thank you very much. That's very generous.
Well, thank you, Master Redcloak, for your hospitality and gracious food and lodging.
Yeah. So, here's a tip for my half-orc friend right here. Until you get out of like the Hills Far patrolled area, which is probably a day or two south of the road down there, I'd go underneath. I'd go underneath a human name and also like pull a heavy cloak on yourself. If you meet any of the Red Plume guards, they're bound to give you probably just a hard time. If not so. They're not too bright. Remember what I said.
Wait, don't we have something for this? Or do you not have? No, and fire is not the answer before you start answering that. I know that's what you want to say.
No, I was going to say, yeah, there's a salve.
But I would, yeah.
We can work on a disguise, maybe?
Unrelated. History, I think. I don't know. What would I need to roll to see if I can remember if there's any other towns on our way to this location that might have I'm trying to find a scroll of scrying. No, not scrying. What's the one where you can actually communicate with someone?
Sending.
That's what I'm looking for.
Okay. I mean, if you're just wanting to look for local knowledge, it'd just be straight up intelligence history.
Okay. 16.
Okay. So you know around this area, like the thing that really, okay. So on the way, there's not a tremendous amount of stuff unless you just want to go digging in Myth Draenor, which is this ancient elven magical site, which basically dropped down and hit the ground and is now it's a radioactive magic site. Nobody goes there if they know what's good for them. AKA, it's the last time I was in there, it was a 20th level adventure. So
No.
nobody goes there.
Okay.
Hills Far Tech is not on your way, but technically it would be the best place to get that. That's just immediately near there. That being said, there's a few places along the way.
So if it's not too far out of the way, Taston, here's my plan.
Okay.
If we can make if we can afford the time for a detour, I'd like to see if I can find a scroll of sending so I can contact Mark and let him know where we're going and approximately when we'll be back so we can coordinate with him.
Okay. I'm not opposed to that at all, but has Bryn left us?
No, he's still here.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I forgot that he could commute. Well,
He could do it once a day, I thought.
Yes.
is it a two-way communication?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then,
it's like 18 words one way and 8. Is it 18? I don't know.
It's 25 or something like
25
that.
there and 25 back.
oh, okay.
Yep.
Then that simplifies things. I had totally forgotten that he could actually do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
No, he's
never mind.
got the Bahamut data plan, so I think we can go ahead and make that long distance call.
Disregard.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But to that point, he won't be with us forever, so that's not a bad idea as a kind of a stock up on that for later usage, just in case.
yeah, there's unfortunately, unless you take a detour, not a whole lot on the way. If you're just going straight to like Selgant or someplace like that until you basically hit there, there's a small chance some of the villages or townships along the way might have it, but you very seriously doubt it. You can't think of any off the top of your head.
What level is that spell? It's a 3rd level. Okay. I'll I might.
It is possible that Elventree would have it's a little more of a detour. It's like an elven establishment. And who knows what they have.
Let me double check my spell count. I might not have my full library. I'll figure that out because I might be able to just have another spell. But regardless, we don't need it right now because we have Bryn.
Right.
That's what's important. So next chance we get, let's have Bryn communicate our plan with Mark so that he's on board.
Sure.
Okay. So he used his thing last time. So he says, like, tomorrow I can do that.
Great.
And let them know I'm going to be waiting for Mark here unless he says otherwise. So I'll let him know you're heading down to what, Selgant?
Yes. That looks about right.
And I'm assuming he'll know where that is. But we'll figure it out if he doesn't. I've not heard of it, but of course I don't roam around the place upstairs or a place here very often. So, Here's what it is. If you say it's a major capital city, then I trust we'll be able to figure out where it is. All right. So you head down to Selgant?
I'm guessing that's where we're headed. I mean,
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Meanwhile, back below the surface.
If I can interject super quick, I'm going to link a specific webcomic in chat. And I like to think that as soon as the camera cuts back to me, that's kind of what you see.
Oh boy.
The whole place is on fire. I'm down there in a wedding dress with the rocket launcher, like, oh my God.
There's an actual mecha down there, yeah.
It just straight up. The dwarves have invented a mecha to fight the demons.
Funny you should mention that.
Oh boy.
I mean, I've actually literally run a BattleTech campaign inside of D&D in a way that not only made sense but followed the rules and was legal. So
Here's where it starts.
So you get the message, Mark, from Bren.
they're going
that-
where? Actually, do I know where that is? That's a good question.
Well,
Because I'm not from that part of
Yeah, that's intelligence history.
All right, so this is first time rolling this new dice that Third gave me for Christmas. Thank you, Third. You're awesome. Let's see how cursed these are. This is going to decide the whole route of these dice right here. This is it.
thank you
3.
again, Cesara. That's
3. What's the total?
3.
3. Okay. You not heard this place
I've
before.
never heard of this place. You're going, but you know what? It doesn't matter. If they're going to some human town, sure, whatever, fine.
So his message basically consists of, here's where they're going. I'm waiting for you at
No, stick with them.
entrance.
Stick with them, Brent. Stick with them. It sounds like they're going on a trip. It sounds like they'll be a while. I am trying to hold the fort with everyone else. Lots of demons there. 20 letters or 20 words.
Okay. So, of course, you don't get a response, but up in the surface world, about a day or so after you have left out, Bren catches up with you. And he's panting because he's his dog. And he tells you that Mark received the message, and he asked Bren to accompany you. And he also sounded very unsure about where this place was. So good luck to him. You can just tell by the tone. All right.
You're not going to share the lots of demons part.
Oh,
It's
he
implied.
gives you the message.
I like to think that he edits it. He's doing great. Everything's fine.
He
He's
said
just hanging out.
lots of love.
Yeah, he's watching Netflix. He's just sitting there having Netflix and chilling the whole time. We should hurry back.
He has been Netflix and chill, which sounds like a great thing. It'll be lots of fun. Anyway, so we travel up there. It's relatively uneventful. You just know that you've got a while to go before you get there. You pass people that seem to be refugees, which are heading from your direction, and you learn that a lot of them are from Hillsfar and from Mulmaster, which are up north. And the stories that you get from them are varied, but in a nutshell, it seems as if Hillsfar and Mulmaster have no longer become great places to live. There is a lot of corruption that has been happening. There is a lot of
Shiny.
in Hillsfar
Must be bad
especially
guys.
they're basically like the great law of humanity is not on the books technically, but it kind of is. And the people in charge are really, really pushing that hard. Some people they know of went to Elventree. And the rest of them are on this road, and they're just traveling basically in the same direction as you to try and get away from the nastiness and corruption up north. The people in Mulmaster said that there were great elemental rifts which opened up there and started blowing up the city. So they left.
Okay. Sure.
And again, there was a lot of corruption that really just started happening there as of late. So they left. So you are among refugees heading that way. You also hear stories of things which you know are demonic signs, although the villagers, not the villagers, but the refugees, the various people around here don't really attribute it to that more than just bad omens and stuff. Things like, somebody mentioned like three-headed goats, but there have been signs of like livestock and stuff being born that have like black fur, that have a taste for blood, that kill other livestock, that they've had to put down.
So it's the chupacabra.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Somebody gave something water after midnight. That's all this is.
There's also a lot of rumors that the Cult of the Dragon has made a resurgence.
Oh God.
And most of the... Actually, if you want, you can make an intelligence history check to see what you know about Cult of the Dragon, or intelligence religion, actually, because this kind of directly relates to that, too. This would be... Actually, you know what, Hassan? I will give you advantage on this, because this is actually right down your deity's
Okay.
alley.
So
This
that's
is something you'd be intimately concerned about.
22 and 19. So I'll take the
Okay.
22.
So at Kellenvor School, they taught about Cult of the Dragon. And the reason being is that they were a group of people who really, really wanted there to be Dracoliches.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, which are, undead dragons, which,
Yeah.
of course, they'd be like, yeah, don't let that
Be
happen.
bad
No.
guys.
There is a lot of rumors that they've been on a resurgence and have been plundering valuables from caravans, and some people have said that there are dragons that are in league with them that have been taking over minor villages, keeps, things like that. Rumors. None of them have really seen anything, but you know how it goes. There's enough of that to kind of be like, okay, maybe something is happening, rather than just random rumors. Liam, did you do a history check?
17.
17. Okay. So, and this would probably be notable to you because the Cult of the Dragon did have some very powerful arcane users that were help facilitating the Dracolich stuff. You a lot of the descriptions don't really line up with what they traditionally did, which was, gather like reagents and stuff for the, basically the lichdom process. That's what you can piece together. You know that they were pretty powerful, to the point where it actually took military might to kind of beat a lot of them back. So knowing that they are potentially on the return is not particularly great. They were originally founded by a powerful wizard as well. Like really, really, really powerful, like similar to a certain person called Elminster, which you may have heard about. So that was, and their whole philosophy was that they wanted Draco Liches basically to rule the world. I mean, they're crazy, right? But not a minor threat when they were around. Fortunately, they were supposedly defeated. There was a combination of adventurers and kingdoms and stuff that banded together to push back and basically disband them by killing a lot of them. But that's about what you know about them. You do know that they had some signs and stuff. They were actually organized enough to have actually like hierarchies, tailored robes and suits, things like that. Like they were that organized. They weren't just a bunch of bathrobe ring wielders using curved daggers in caves. And there were some powerful people like nobles and stuff that did back them. So there you go. But some of the stories from the refugees don't exactly line up with what they did before. This seems more like very, very organized banditry more than anything. So that's a discrepancy there. All right. So I was going to go back to Mark, but it looks like he's currently on a break. Oh, there he is. He's back. Just wait till the earbuds go in. There we go. So, Mark.
Oh, sorry, I thought I had a little bit more time. Apologies.
Oh. Go ahead and roll dodge.
Okay, I'm ready.
Straight to it.
2.
Oh,
2. All right. You've dodged 2 attacks. All right.
Holy crap.
So, I guess the first question I have for you is, do you have any specific plans in Gracklstugh?
Well, I do kind of want to set up a criminal empire, but while I'm doing that, there's a couple other things on my itinerary.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost, I want to passively and actively raise our legend. I can live with it being my legend if I have to, but the point is it for be our legend.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon slayers, the demon killers. And I don't want to do this by like running around and handing out flyers. I want to be actively participating in the front lines action in keeping the city safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be doing that. It's just while I'm there, telling tales in between combat is kind of the idea, right?
Right.
So just kind of shoving that into the cultural zeitgeist of the city, especially amongst the military in particular, so that they're getting more and more aware of us and can start spreading our tales far and wide.
Okay.
So is that like active carousing versus like active listening?
Active carousing. I'd like to make an active carousing check. Yeah, kind of actually.
Yeah. All right. Hang on. Let me roll my dice.
So we'll get to we'll get to the dice rolls in just a second.
Okay.
But I kind of want to describe what's happening with the force here and what people there, because it could affect what you do. So the Duergar, as the days goes on, are putting up a good fight, but it becomes increasingly obvious that the demons are, number 1, becoming more numerous, number 2, getting stronger, and number 3, getting more organized. So after several days there, most of the fighting consists of the ground fodder that you encountered on the way here. And then it starts getting a little more obvious that someone's organizing them in waves, and then everybody starts seeing glimpses of actual higher ranking demons. Like they see, like multi-armed snake ladies running around the place, coordinating things. They are at some points assaulted by gigantic horned toad-looking demons that take quite a bit of fire to take down. The people outside the wall, after that stuff starts showing up, they just completely retreat into the city. So it's actually pretty full, but it's mainly people who don't like live in the city. There starts to become a problem from air demons that can fly. Gigantic mosquito-looking demons with long proboscis that attempt to fly into the city. Unfortunately, and they come from across Dark Lake. Gracklstugh is at one point has a dock which is pushed up against the Dark Lake, and they come from across the Dark Lake. And Gracklstugh does have defenses against these. They have ballista that are mounted already against the Dark Lake that they start using against them. They have, of course, the troops on the walls. Of course, they have you. There's actually some people who are adventurers like you, people who stayed behind, who are assisting with this as well. They really seem to be the only people left that were outside the city here. People who actually want to be here fighting demons. Well, they don't want to be here fighting demons, but, you know, they weren't like the merchants who just left immediately as soon as they could. They also start bringing out the more evil parts of their military. Once it becomes apparent that they need reinforcements to fight these things that are coming from both on ground and in air, you start to see, no joke, you know, someone mentioned Mecca. You start to see these obviously shielded from the local populace, but since you're on the lines fighting, I'm not going to refuse you, these metallic suits that seem to be somewhat, I mean, they're obviously Duergar make, and they're somewhat clockwork, somewhat magical, and they have Duergar inside them. And these Duergar don't seem to be there by choice. A lot of them are almost like in a suspended state of animation where their mouth is and face is just frozen in terror and pain. And you're not quite sure, unless you want to make an intelligence arcana check on these things, you know, such as it is. No, yeah, you're not really sure exactly what this is all about, what this even means. But you do know that, I mean, because your insight's just naturally high, that they are obviously taking great care to make sure that the common populace don't know about these things. And they are very effective. They are armored tanks, and they seem to have some sort of psionic attacks they blast at the demons coming through. So they're very effective, but there's just an unnatural, like, feeling when they're just emanating from them. That's not even anything that they just seem to radiate some dark magic from them. But they're highly effective.
I've decided to abandon the city. No,
I'm just suddenly thinking of 40K.
I was going to say, isn't that like Terminator armor? Is what that is?
Yeah,
there's actually you know what? I can share a picture of them.
Or if you played Dragon Age, this is the golems, you know, pouring molten lyrium down their throats, kind of thing.
It's kind of worse.
Oh, great! Worse. Ow! Fantastic.
Here we go. You know what? I'll put it in chat. How about that?
Oh, goody. I'm looking forward to this.
Everybody can see this.
So first they rip their eyeballs out. No. First they make them rip their eyeballs out. Then they force them to eat them. Not their own eyeball, obviously. Someone else's eyeball.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So you can just tell this. Like, this is the Duergar inside. They're not having a good time.
Nope. All right, so I have a really dumb question. I'll actually roll for it because this is an in-character question. So I'm going to roll, is there a non-evil city in the Underdark?
That'd be intelligence history for you.
Oh my God, I actually rolled something. That's a 19.
Yeah, there are non-evil cities in the Underdark.
If only I could think of one. Let's see.
I mean, you've been to one, Blingstone.
There's Blingenstone. That was pretty cool.
Any of the, I mean, most of the dwarven establishments, like the Mithril Halls, are here that were mentioned before. Let's see. There are some. Well, you want specifically stuff that's not evil, or you want stuff that's like good, considered good?
That's a good question. So I got a 19. So let's go with the actually good, because I might actually know something in that direction.
Okay.
Because there's plenty of neutral places in the under. I mean, the player, know that, but
places that are still
Menzo Baranzan.
Menzo Baranzan, definitely not.
I'm going right there. I'm gonna sit, Bren. I'm going to Menzo Baranzan. Tell him, Bren.
No,
Tasha's going to be there, but I don't know if she's had enough time to set up shop.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's see, Blingenstone. I'm looking at dwarven things, and it's like, well, this place was overrun. So I'm like,
yeah.
Perfect.
If Blingenstone, so me, the player, that was my thought, was Blingenstone. I'm not sure what else there really is off the top of my head.
I mean, the problem is, like, that there are. I'm just trying to think of like actual like cities, right? Because there's villages and towns and stuff. I mean, absolutely yes. Okay, here's some shield dwarf locations.
Wait, aren't I shield dwarf?
I don't know. Are you?
That's a good question. I haven't actually pulled up my character sheet yet because it hasn't mattered yet. Rolling into this thing, okay, well that's a +0.
If you chose the one,
thing, okay, that's
if you chose the one that gave you a bonus to wisdom, then you're basically a shield dwarf. Yeah,
I'm gonna double check here really quick. I am. Where's my race? I am a shield dwarf. Holy crap! Okay, so where was that at?
So there's Iltskakar. There's a bunch of places that are former ones. So yeah, Iltskazar. It is spelled. I'm just gonna, it's Iltkazar.
There it is. It's in Deep Shanatar. Okay, that's actually not that far from here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not super close, but
is there any way you could add that map that you guys are looking at to tabletop?
Oh yeah, could you do what I was trying to do earlier with that custom board?
Can you copy the link to me?
I did in Twitch chat.
Oh, in Twitch chat. Okay. Yeah.
There's also an Underdark map I've been using. Sorry, let me pull this up too, because this is also useful. I will also link it there. Boop. There's the Underdark map.
All right, I'll do the Underdark map first because it is the first one I ran into.
Yep, Iltkazar. It's right there. That's not actually all that far. So do me a weird favor. Where was the way up that they took out?
It was. This resolution's not super great.
Yeah. I guess I could be looking at the tabletop version. Zoom in.
So I mean, they basically went west more than anything from Gracklestug.
Yeah, hang on. So where am I? There's me. Where's Gracklestug?
Gracklestug should be over.
Yeah, it should be like right up there. That's what I'm looking for.
And I'm getting the other map as well. Just a second.
It should be like right there, and I'm not seeing it because there's the sea.
So if we drill straight down, where will we enter the Underdark?
Well, because I'm actually, this is kind of important because I'm thinking geography, right? So hang on. So where's me? There's me. I'm somewhere over here.
Okay.
I have permission, so I'm just going to copy myself for a second.
Okay.
The good dwarf place is right here, which is not overly far. Like right, I'll put myself at that one right there.
Yeah.
And you guys are over here right now, up above ground. Actually, sorry, closer to here.
I will say that Underdark travel is inherently slower than overland travel, so it's not exactly a 1-to-1.
Oh yeah.
But
where the hell is Gracklestug? It's a huge city. It's got to be on this map.
Oh, I found it.
That's
Oh,
not where I was
wow,
thinking
okay.
it is at all.
Way up
That's
there.
up by Menza Branson. That's right next to Menza Branson.
Perfect.
So that's me. So that's a little bit further away than I was thinking.
Are you trying to leave Gracklestug and go somewhere else?
I am legitimately thinking about it. I'm going to do some sendings back and forth first to keep them up to date on the idea. But just do me one last favor. Mark where their path up was. You can even do it roughly if you want to not give.
I'll do it on the above ground map up here.
Okay, where's the above? There we go. Now that's a high quality map, by the way. You can zoom way in on that thing.
So you actually came out around here.
Nope, that's exactly where I thought you were. Okay.
And your path is
going down to Selgon.
Yep.
Okay. So that
Just
might
like Indiana
work.
Jones.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
actually, we need.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
Right. So let's rewind a second. So is there like an option to do that? I know you did that manually, but like
maybe, but I just did it manually.
That's what. All right.
We just need the airplane going.
So I will.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm going to help defend these people. There's plenty of innocent lives here. Duh, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is probably not. This is more like the fifth thing that's given me pause. And Lord knows I understand using evil things to accomplish good, but this is not the first time I have presumed that they're using evil things to accomplish evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, short round. What's short round doing here? Wham! So I will still be kind of doing exactly what I said I was. I think as a monk, I'm more useful on the front than on the riverfront. So that sounds confusing. The ground front.
Yes.
The ground demon front. I am also, I'm going to be trying to accomplish two other things at the same time. If you want me to roll for these, that's fine. So I'm going to be defending and spreading, the legend, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to try and procure map or guidance. No, that's the wrong way to phrase that. Directions. I don't want someone to come with me, but I want to know how to get to and Iltrazar, whatever. You get the idea. Dwarf place, right?
Yes.
Or maybe I should just go with Gracklestug. Hang on. Quick out of character question: Gracklestug or Ilskar? That's
now, you know that Gracklestug is the reason I didn't mention that is that's rumored abandoned.
That they've abandoned Gracklestug?
Well, no, I mean, I say abandoned.
Overrun,
forced out, overrun.
Yeah. That's
so it's one of those places where there's probably still people living there, but
well, okay. So I want a route to Gracklestug. I do.
Okay.
And I want a route to the Shield Dwarf place. Okay. Those are that's my goal. So
okay.
I want like map guidance, landmarks, whatever, right? Directions, turn right at the third Arby's, whatever.
Right.
The last thing I want to do is I want to talk to the captain if I ever have a chance to, the woman whose name I can't remember, but talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, if she has any openings for a covert op, a spec op, to try and scout out demon positions or where they're coming from or anything that she has information on, I want to basically let her know that I am available for such a task.
Okay.
These are my tasks. What do you want me to roll? So I can roll like a 3 on it. Because this dice, by the way, so far has only rolled above one digit once.
I'm sorry, I super told you the wrong thing on the map too. Did you say Gracklestug or Gauntlgrim? When you were because Gracklestug's where you are.
Gauntlgrim, sorry.
Okay.
I figured
I said Gracklestug. That's my fault.
I was thinking Gauntlgrim and responding to that. I just want to make sure. Yeah, okay. I mean, same thing. Yeah.
Okay. That's on me. I said the wrong thing. I apologize. So those are my tasks. What am I roll?
Okay. So 4, and I'm going to give you advantage of this since you're helping them out and you're already somewhat known here.
Yeah.
You can make either a charisma persuasion or performance.
Which is also charisma.
Yes, it is also charisma.
Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it is. I'm an idiot. But I just noticed I actually have points in persuasion. which I probably should be using. So I'm gonna go with persuasion, charisma, persuasion, and I have advantage. So I'm gonna be greedy, even though that's an 18. I'm gonna stick with the 18.
All right.
That is a 21 total.
Okay. Yeah. So you establish yourself basically as, reliable because you're a monk. You can do monk things that basically nobody else in here can.
Yeah.
So you're super valuable. And people are definitely people that you've not talked to are beginning to know like who you are just from the site and stuff. So obviously, like word is spreading around. You're very much in good graces with a lot of the people here, to the point where everything. I mean, basically everything, food and everything is on them. As well as, if you, this is one of those things where if you go to like the local guard or weapon shop, like, hey, I need help with this, they'll just say yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, they're like, yeah, of course, why not?
That'll help me get those navigational maps that'll totally exist later.
Yeah. So they also they'll tell you, they know exactly how to get to Gauntlgrim. I have a feeling they've probably been there before, or at least some of them have.
Yeah. We've been there.
Yes, it's a bit of a trek. It is from your location estimated about a 60-70 day travel.
That sounds about right.
And that's assuming you're traveling at a normal pace. They're like, definitely, unless you're feeling super brave, would not recommend doing that right now.
Yeah. Fortunately, I already know that because of my route here.
Yes. To the other place, to be 100% honest, I would have to map out, but take about the distance where you are from Gracklestone to Gauntlgrim. It's
going to be a trek.
It's a long way.
Yeah.
They don't have a good route there because they don't go there.
So I'm going to roll something here.
Okay.
I guess this would be geography. Is that even a skill anymore?
Survival.
Survival. Sure. Wisdom.
Yeah.
I'll take a wisdom then.
Yeah, wisdom, survival.
So what I'm trying to essentially think in my head that I have is, that's not a great roll. Is there a route up/down closer to that? Right.
Yes. That would probably be the recommended way to go anyway.
Okay. That's all I really need to know. I don't need specifics right now. I'll figure that out later.
Yeah, you basically come into like the old Shantar area, this is basically a Dwarven kingdom type area. And then you'd go down there. You wouldn't generally try to cross from north to south.
That's hang on, just as a really off the top of my head thing, that's a 2-month trip. And that's under normal circumstances.
Above ground, maybe. Underground, it'd be way longer.
Yeah. So, okay.
So you got that.
But whatever.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So that's the maps. That's that. What about the captain?
The captain. Yeah. She's super busy. She's kind of transitioned into a
dictator. It just
yes and no.
In charge. It's okay.
She is the one in charge of the Stone Guard. There's still people on the council. It's not like they just came in there and Disneyville and everyone away and like, I'm the king now.
Good.
Yeah, like it's. Yeah, you kind of figure it out pretty quickly. It's like, you'll probably have somebody killed if they fall out of line, and probably would have public opinion or public support because someone's going against our demon protection efforts. They need to die.
Yeah.
She's if it wasn't for the demon, she'd have like a great position right
now. Sorry about this lady.
Yeah. So what can she do you for?
So granted, I've kind of got Metal Gear Solid in the brain, but what I'm thinking is, do they have any leads or any thoughts on, I guess, source or leadership or coordination? Because demons are a problem. And I will say this in character. Demons are a problem. Coordinated demons are a much worse problem. Renewing demons are a much worse problem. Do you have any info on any of that I might be able to help you with, that I might be able to do an infiltration or a pinpoint precision or a sabotage mission or something to help you out with this?
Since you're so reputable, she's going to be honest with you. She says, no, actually, we don't.
That's bad.
they're working on some sort of plan, but right now it is not. There's nothing solid, and they don't want to just send people out on wild goose chases.
No, that's valid. Do you at least have an area, like a direction I could scout in for you?
She says yes, she'd prefer that you stay on the walls, but she's not going to stop you.
If you think I'm more valuable on the walls, I'm not going to argue that either. It's just I refer to my previous statement. You know, we are fighting a losing war at the moment.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's well aware. There are people working on trying to figure out like a next plan. The problem is they planned for like demons and infiltration and stuff, and their natural defensive and military mindset is helping them a lot here. But they don't have if it's infinite demons, this is what we do.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, most people don't plan for infinite demons, but
right. Here's what they're exploring right now. The first thing they're exploring is reaching out to some other nations down here. I mean, they're specifically keeping some off. They're not contacting the Drow because they think that would be absolutely pointless at this point.
Yeah.
They're not contacting like the Shield Dwarves or anyone else. It's more neutral / evil-ish factions down here. And they're planning on sending out some people to try and gather info, but there's no like, we're definitely going to find something here.
Yeah.
So
does she mention Contal Grim out of curiosity?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, you pretty quickly figure out there's no reason they suspect there'd be anything there.
Got it. All right.
So she can point you in the direction of a place that they're potentially going to send some people out to at least like establish communication or try and figure out if there's like a sage outside that may know what's going on. She does mention that if it comes down to it, they're going to try and contact the service world for assistance, but they really don't want to do that. They actually think that's going to be worse for them in the long run. They're just being, they don't want to go to that point yet.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Quick out of character question: who has the mirror right now? Because I would know that.
I don't recall.
I think Guido has it, or that is to say,
It's either me or Liam.
I thought we gave it to what's her name?
No, we gave her the spear.
we gave her the spear.
Yeah,
which is still not the best idea.
It was a choice that we made. We may or may not eventually regret.
A choice. Sorry, I have the mirror. It's in my inventory. Sorry.
Okay, cool. She's got nothing. Oh my god. I'm going to tell her rather bluntly, this is where I'm sleeping. She should know this, but I'm telling her it to make a point. This is where I sleep. This is where I've been working. This is where I make my rounds. If you've got something that a reasonably high level monk can deal with, let me know. I am available to help save this stupid. I don't say it that way, but yes.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's basically been pointing you at targets of interest, like this group is organizing right here, and there's a leader. Go take him out.
Okay.
And what is effective against the demons is that once like a higher level demon is taken out, basically the lower level ones become disorganized completely and useless.
Okay.
Almost as if the presence of more powerful demons actually organizes them rather than them telling them to do anything.
Yep. Now I do have one last thing for the Geth Horde. I mean the Demon Horde. Sorry. I hate to. How many of these can I eat? I'm down here for days at a time.
Is it really just
And I'm killing probably a fair amount of demons. And I would be 100% down for at least sampling, especially if these are not Demogorgon demons, because I can tell the taste difference, right? However, based on your expression, I'm assuming these are all Demogorgon demons.
The majority of them are Demogorgon.
Are there? Oh, that's awful. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Are they sweet or savory?
No, that's black licorice.
They're both they're sweet and sour, just like the dual nature of Demogorgon.
Oh, yeah, that's awful. No, so yeah, in summary, if there's an opportunity to eat a demon that is not of Demogorgon, I'm probably going to take that. you can feel free to do whatever you want with that as the GM.
Roll a
That's
D100.
a D. Okay, so hang on.
Yeah.
There we go. First time we've run these new dice. What do we got here? That is a 94. I don't know if that's
Oh,
good or
okay.
bad, but
You do find some higher-ranking demons which are not of Demogorgon. As a matter of fact, they are of what's his name, the Baphomet.
oh, asshole. I suppose.
I mean, you have to be more specific.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me narrow that down a little bit.
And I mean, Baphomet is basically the Minotaur demon lord.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah. So apparently there are ones tainted by his influence around. Not nearly as numerous, but they're here.
And they're mine.
Yeah.
And they're food.
There is also something else amongst all of this that you do notice as the days go on.
Oh.
You have noticed that there is a particular other adventurer type, a wizard actually, or seemingly a wizard.
I eat them.
Who she has joined in the defense of Gracklestug.
Okay.
And she's been throwing some pretty big stuff around. Unfortunately, demons are naturally resistant to magic, so it's probably not as big as it could potentially be.
Mm-hmm.
But she seems to be doing some big stuff. She seems to be a half elf, and do you know what this is actually? Make me straight up intelligence nature.
All these intelligence checks. Hang on, let me add +0 to this 10.
Okay, no, I mean 10 is sufficient for this. Probably half sea elf.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
that
like
there is a
distinctive, like very fluorescent bluish hair, almost kind of like similar to seaweed almost, and purplish skin. It also seems to almost constantly have this underwater effect on her. You think there's something magical going on there. Like when you look over, you're like, did she just step out of water? No, not really, but could have sworn. The thing that, there's a couple other adventurers like this, like there's some high level ones in here. The thing that catches your eye on this is that you notice that her staff, after, she's pointed out and fired off some lightning bolts and stuff out of it, has some distinctive features in it. The first is that it's bronze, and the head is shaped like a dragon with its wings just like flying forward. You notice that there are 7 topaz gemstones dotting it. And as you look at that and some of her more adornments, she's got like these World of Warcraft massive shoulder pads that are also bronze. And you're like, this is someone who very, very much seems to be, for lack of a better term, adorned with symbols of the metallic dragons and Bahamut.
So I'm going to completely ignore the very obvious sign and completely ignore the GM very obviously giving me a hook.
Killer for magic items.
Yep.
As you do.
I also want you to know that I'm picturing a was it a high page or whatever? What's the Warhammer 40K unit? That's basically like they wield their staff and they've got the
Sniper?
No. Not an actual mage. It's a I can't remember what they call it, but you could probably picture what I'm picturing if you just think Warhammer 40K this. No. I'm debating how exactly to do this, but I'm going to try to, in a downtime, strike up a conversation and be like, hey, so what brings you to, we're in Gracklestug, right?
Yes.
What brings
That's
you
what
to
you're asking, right? Gracklestug, right?
Look, I'm sorry. I'm between Gracklestug and Gauntled Grim. I'm suddenly really mixing those two up in my head. I don't know. I mean, I know why. They're the same syllables and they have the same cadence, but
yeah.
Anyways, point being it. What brings you to Gracklestug, my dear ma'am, I'm sorry. My name's Mark. Oh. I'm a monk who is trying to help defend the city, and then I'm just going to leave that kind of open for her.
Okay.
Roll.
She looks over you and gives you a. No, you don't have to. That's fine.
Okay.
She gives you a very warm smile, and she says, "It's very pleasant to meet you, Mark. I am Soldil Baldorio, and that's an interesting story as to how I came here.
There's this child of Ball, right?
Child of Ball. Well, never mind that. I actually have just returned from the Feywild and happened to come out in the very wrong place, apparently at the very wrong time.
That explains a lot.
Yes.
I was wondering, I love the effect, by the way. I was wondering how you were even managing down here, to be completely honest. No offense intended, just
it's natural.
This does not seem like a very wonderful environment for you. Frankly, I'm not
It's not, and I think that if circumstances were different, I would have a much different take on this place. But there are people in here that should be defended. I haven't seen something like this for quite some time, maybe 1,000 years or so.
Ooh, that's wonderful. Well, I do appreciate your help, and I wanted to thank you personally for your assistance on the matter. Lord knows we can use it. Right now we're having issues. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yes, I've been pondering what to do about it, and I know that you have as well. You look like someone who is studious and insightful and takes in the situation. I know you've been wanting to leave this place and do something about it and not just resign yourself to standing on the walls and waiting for the inevitable doom.
Yep. This is I've been trying to coordinate with the local captain guard to hesitate, as I realize I'm talking too freely, to not as much success as I would like. I've also been thinking about trying to do forays out on my own just to try and figure out some way to stem the tide and eat more demons. You know, I'm trying to cut myself back to 3 demons a day instead of 5. It's really hard.
Dietary restrictions.
I've noticed that again. That's not something that I've seen for quite some time. Although it was back a long time ago when the elves were doing it. They got into some, unfortunately, very twisted experimentations, and I hope you don't go that far. But what to do about this? Are you planning on heading anywhere in specific?
Inside check.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, and I'm going to demon vision her too, just to make sure.
Okay.
So
nothing seems to be different when you demon vision her.
Okay. That's a 24 on my insight.
24.
How on the level is this, right?
She seems to be pretty on a level. What you suspect that she probably, you do suspect that she's holding back some stuff, like she knows a little more and she's letting on, but it's just kind of teasing you around, for a better term. You don't really sense any hostile intentions or anything like that.
Okay. So I'm going to go and be honest. I'm going to guess. I'm thinking about checking out the other place, Gracklestug, I think.
Gracklestug.
I've completely lost which one's which at this point. I really
Gracklestug is where we're at.
Okay.
Gauntlgrim is what
I want to check out Gracklestug.
Gauntlgrim.
I've been through there previously, and I was hoping to honestly see. I can't imagine, given how bad this place is faring. I'm not sure how well that place is doing at the moment. So, and obviously there were some decent folk there, concern, and you get the general idea.
So I actually have to see. No, this is the problem with 1,000+ year-old people who have been in and out of planes. It's like, what would you know?
That's actually a good question.
Elminster
would probably know a lot about it, but he's kind of cheating.
Yeah, that's why he won't put him in adventures.
Oh. It always kind of irritated me that he was in like so many of the D&D video games. Like, I get why they did it, but they did it, and it's like, no, you don't just go to Elminster. Just drop there. Sorry, move on. Boring Guido.
Okay.
We need to
Here's the important thing. It was established at that time. Got it.
Okay.
She's going to be like, what? She says, that Council Grim, I'm a bit out of current knowledge. Is that place not overrun with mind flayers?
I certainly hope not. If they are, that's something that needs to be dealt with, although I'm not sure I'm the person. Then again, my intelligence is very low, so I could probably deal with it.
Well, I have not been there in hundreds of years, so my information may be very much out of date. If you haven't heard about it, then that may have been dealt with. Which I suspect it probably has been, because if they're allowed to fester for all that time, the Underdark would probably be a much different place.
Very true. Freaking mind flayers. All right. I'm going to try to broach the conversation of Bahamut. Like, so what do you think of Bahamut? Wait, hang on. Actually, can I roll for this?
Sure. What are you rolling to do?
Okay, so I rolled a 3, which is perfect. So what do you think about Bahamut?
I think he's a pretty good guy. Fights dragons and not afraid of anything.
Wait, what? Oh, God.
If you know, you know. Okay.
My whole life is a lie.
Cord does have his dice.
No, it's fine, Cord. It's fine.
So you can just see she gets very visibly excited about you. She says, well, let me ask you a question first before I answer. What do you think about Bahamut?
Can I roll? Help me out, good. What will this be? This is a roll to not geek out. So like that wisdom save, you think?
Well, deception, wouldn't it?
Okay. Or performance. You're just trying to maintain composure.
Yeah, I'd say either deception or.
I've got the Bahamut action figures.
Yeah, I got it too. So like, I just immediately. And I now have disadvantage on that roll. Hang on. Let's see if I can get below a 2. Oh my God! I rolled a 1. I rolled a 1. Oh my God! It's my first run of this one of this.
So what does that look like for Mark to geek out?
Oh my God, Bahamut is just so glad. It does this thing, and it just, oh my God, his wings they're so beautiful, and he's just so honorable, and he's trying to help people, and that's really cool too, because I'm really big on helping. One of the things I think is the biggest problem in society from Faerun, and all the dwarves are all like, oh, let's mine and all let's craft, and let's kill people. I'm like, no, let's help people. Bahamut he's so cool. He just spanked me. There was one time I was out at this river, and that's the first time I even became aware of Bahamut, because the river there was a serpent going through it, and I saved the serpent. The serpent ended up saving me later. It's all. I'm sorry, boring you, but the whole point is, and I just ramble. I like motor mouth here.
You shaved the serpent?
No, saved. Oh. Sorry, I was slurring a little bit there because I was trying to talk.
The other way's better.
So she's giving you a look that says she does genuinely think the same about Bahamut too. She's just not geeky about it.
Listen, I immediately scorn her. Yeah, it's just no.
I'll say it. You can tell that she's like absolutely yes, but she's more composed.
I've got all the trading cards.
She's
Mint's
the
condition still in the bag.
She's the charismatic geek.
Yeah, I'm the geek. No, mine aren't in the bag. I pull my cards out. I have a deck. I pull out this really worn looking deck that I have on my person that I've always had in my person. This is just a retcon, and it's just Bahamut cards. It's an artifact deck, obviously.
Oh, of course.
It's like
for those of you not getting the joke, Bahamut is the platinum dragon. So,
that's 3 dragon ante, 5 dragon ante. What's the game?
3 dragon ante. Yeah,
3. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe it's. Yeah, I think it's 3 dragon ante, which is actually a physical game that you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she says, "Funny you should mention artifacts and stuff. I am actually on a vision quest from Bahamut."
Really?
Yes. I
sign up. Right there. That's all it takes.
Let's just let me tell you a little bit. I mean, I know you're on board, but let me tell you a little bit more about what actually I have been quested with.
Can I interrupt just as quick? I'm just picturing the people who play WoW and don't read the quest text. Are like, yep.
Yeah.
Skip.
Yep.
She says, I was given a vision from Bahamut that I would encounter at great perils, and I think this is it. But then when I met in like the darkness, the most unlikely follower of Bahamut, that
Listen,
I should trust them. And that should be the start of the reformation of the Knights of Bahamut.
oh, dude. Okay, so yeah, in character, I'm gonna roll one more time here.
Okay.
Let's try to maintain my composure. Roll. Okay, that's a little better. It's a 6. These dice are cursed. You have given me cursed dice for Christmas. I want you to know this. I've been using them exclusively this whole session. They have not been rolling.
It's all to get people to spend channel points.
I know it. It's just trying to get rid of those channel points. So yeah, no, there's going to just be this like chills moment, right? I'm not going to completely lose it because I got a 6, but that's just yes. So I'm going to immediately open up to her and say, listen, I'm going to be honest, I am a demon hunter, and she's going to have no idea what that means.
No, she looks like I completely know what that is. I told you I've seen this before.
Okay, well, since we're on the same page, that's going to save us some exposition. It's cool. It's cool. Details by all means. I am on board. As much as I want to help save this town, I don't think it's possible. So,
yeah. So let me explain a little about what I'm doing. So, what do you know about the Knights of Bahamut? I'm guessing it's probably not a lot since they're gone. But back when I was, back when I was young, don't feel bad. It's like stupid IDC.
Back in my day,
when I was younger, back in my day, they were an ancient order. No, but they were an order founded directly with assistance by Bahamut himself. And they bonded directly with metallic dragons as their companions.
Oh, wow.
And they were capable of turning the tides of battles to the side of good solely by their presence. Now, that being said, from what I have learned, it's a long story since I've been away. It's a long story. But in short, from what I have learned, they were so extravagant and outgoing that they attracted a lot of enemies. And for once in their life, the forces of evil banded together as one and exterminated them. Because they were a great threat, you know?
I want you all to imagine the Return of the Jedi scene where C-3PO is retelling the story.
Oh, yes.
I'm the Ewoks reacting to this.
So as far as I know, and I was in the original Knights of Bahamut a long time ago. I believe I am the only one left who knows the secret of the bonding of the metallic dragons, which was an initiation rite of the Knights of Bahamut. And I'm seeking, especially in times of peril like this, to return that to the world. Can I count on you to be the first new member of the Knights of Bahamut? I already know what your answer is going to be because it was in my vision, but I want to hear it from you.
Well, listen.
Is this a pyramid scheme?
Yeah, I mean, how much does this cost? Is this just Amway? Is this what this is?
Yeah. What are they?
So first, I got these knives you need to buy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I buy those first, and then I buy this, and yeah, I get out. Mm-hmm. And then I got to get 3 more people on board, right? Yep. No. So rather than answer outright, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to say, may I have some time to consider?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So To speed this up a little bit, because you've been focusing on me for a while, what I want to do is essentially wait a day until I get my next sending.
Okay.
And I want to get them in on the loop of what's going on down here.
Okay. So you do so.
I will also spend at least a little bit of time meditating, in case that even matters at this point.
Mhm.
But for the most part, most of my focus is going to be on, it's trying to stay. I'm at a disadvantage for the rest of the day on defending the city because I'm so excited about this. And defending the city, eating demons as it goes.
Okay. Yeah. So the sending happens. I'm assuming you give them the gist of what's going on. The gist of what's going on. Okay. So Bren seems incredibly surprised and like, hear this, up on the surface world as you're traveling down, and you get the gist of what's going on down there. It's Bahamut news.
I'm also going to mention the whole going to the other city idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely want to make sure they're aware of the hideous evil problem.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming you've been keeping them updated on, well, it's getting worse. We're seeing new things, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Okay. So that is conveyed. And she has been, she's obviously excited that her visions are coming true and stuff. Although, like you said, she's much more composed about it. You can kind of tell that she has been keeping you within visual range since then. And she's like, every time she sees you.
And like in every room you enter, she's there before.
Oh God, that's just a horror story.
I mean, she can teleport, so she could. Oh, by the way, you think she's just cosplaying as a wizard? She's probably not a wizard.
I knew it. Okay, so the unfortunate thing is I would have to wait another day to hear you back from you guys because of how sending works.
Yep.
So, I'm gonna go ahead and tell her yes after the day. I've meditated on it. I've gotten everyone informed. I do still have some charges with me that I cannot simply abandon, and we do still have a quest we need to deal with. And I'm gonna tell her about Twitface, the fungus demon queen.
I
can never
says, yeah, I've never personally faced minions of her, but I am well aware of her. So you do accept the offer, though, yes, to join. Okay. So there is someone else you need to meet then. And she requests that they go to a private area, and she casts a spell that opens a door into the air and opens it up, and he comes into what is quite obviously a demi-plane of some sort. And it's a nice, cozy little lodge. It has regalia of Bahamut all over the place. On the walls, on the ceilings, looks fairly well adorned. And doing some what looks like paperwork and research at a desk seems to be a smallish bronze dragon. Who looks up with a start when someone else comes in that he obviously was not expecting, and says with seems to be fairly young, doesn't have the big voice that Thumberchaud did. Says, well, Sildil, is this the new recruit, the one in your vision you had mentioned? I suppose it's a pleasure to meet you. Not exactly what I was expecting.
I'm going to be really formal about this. Wow. As a fresh reminder for anybody watching, I'm kind of like, picture Obi-Wan Kenobi, his robes. If you remember, I said that way at the beginning too. Mm-hmm. So that's just the visual. That's the outfits. As Obi-Wan there, I just kind of bow formally. It's good to meet you, sir. Yes, I am Mark.
Okay. You see like his eyes like dart upwards, and he's obviously looking at Sildil over your shoulder, and then like almost as if he got a cue, he gives a little nod to you as well. And he says, where is my name?
Where is my name? Well met. I've actually met you before. Isn't your cousin Bob?
Oh, yeah, Bob. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's one of those things that are like, oh, here's the bronze dragon. Let's hide his name somewhere in here.
Terwillier Slishclunkio.
It's going to have a really stupid long dragon name, too.
I mean, it's a dragon, right? That's exactly what his name's going to be.
Yeah.
What's your name? Aldonkir Imperaticiano.
I'll find in a second. He gives you his name.
Livius as Junius.
Yes. And he says, I am bonded to Soldil, a new bonding. Unfortunately, well, I'll leave that story for Soldil to tell, but her previous bond was unfortunately lost. And I suppose you are the new member of the newest iteration of the Knights of Bahamut. Welcome, welcome. We're still organizing things a little bit. The Knights were always a little bit paperwork light as an organization and preferred to just smite evil rather than actually keep records of anything. But there are some, it's not so much paperwork that we have, but there is an initiation that we must do. Okay. Soldil, perhaps you'd like to explain. She says, yes. So members of the Knights of Bahamut must bond to a dragon egg. Metallic dragon egg. Unfortunately, those are in a little bit of short supply.
Yeah. I hear there was a tyranny of dragons recently, which caused some issues.
I haven't heard about that. That might be going on right now.
Is that Pern, Guido?
It might have been.
I mean, I'm down for Pern. I actually rather liked the Pern series, but that's the first thing I thought is like, is that the Dragon Riders?
That's what I used to actually search the image. So but I just had to find something.
Yeah,
because it just sounds cool.
But she says, that's in rather short supply. Fortunately, I believe my friend here has located one. He says, yes, believe it or not, they do actually exist in the Underdark. Not by choice, but before all this mess started happening, I had been conducting some reconnaissance, aka I've been looking over offerings, caravans, travel records, all that sort of boring stuff.
So I love that very boring stuff. No, please tell me more about this.
From the establishments around this area, and I believe I have found someone who is selling one of these. Not that I know it's a dragon egg, but you understand it. It looks like an art piece to those who are not very well informed. Specifically, I believe either a copper or a brass dragon egg. Regardless of whether or not this is an initiation, this is something that we obviously need to recover because, well, let's be frank, we don't want a metallic dragon hatching in the presence of someone who has no idea what it is, and more than likely the Underdark would intend to do it harm or worse. Normally, Knights of Bahamut must undertake a quest in order to gain admittance to it. I believe that the retrieval of this egg would serve as quest enough if you can rescue it, and it would become your bond.
Do you happen to know where it's being sold? Like where
do.
The transaction? Do. If you say Gauntlgrim, I'm gonna laugh.
No.
If you say, what's the name of that place? Iskar or something like that?
Iskar, no. It is none of the places that you had mentioned. No.
Oh my God.
No, there is an outpost called Mantle Dureth.
I don't know that one.
You've heard the name mentioned before. The Duergar have actually mentioned it as a place they have been before, but were not willing to expose the information at that time. Yeah. This is a while back.
I actually see it. It's on the north end of the Dark Lake there. I'm sorry, no, that's the northwest end. To make it more clear about that. Okay.
And a dragon kind of claws the paper off. You wouldn't believe how hard it is to do this. I can't wait until I'm older and I can shape change. And he hands you this freshly or relatively freshly inked parchment, and it contains a bunch of arcane stuff on it, but it's written in such a way that a non-caster would at least be able to follow the steps.
Oh, the any key. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Now, this is secret, so keep it safe and don't let it fall into anyone else's hands. This is the bonding ritual.
I immediately take them out the auction house to sell it.
Oh, you've doomed the Knights of Bahamut. Congratulations. No,
quest complete. Da-na-na.
No,
you lose 6 karma.
you do notice that on this, it does require a very great deal of strength in order to withstand this ritual.
Okay.
And I mean, like, maybe it's a higher level ritual.
Yeah.
So he says, if you are able to find this egg and encounter it, I would recommend conducting the ritual immediately if you can. There's no telling what state it'll be in, what's going on. And the instructions for what to do with it are there regardless of what type of egg it actually ends up being.
Okay.
Whether copper or brass. And there's even, you notice that as it steps up from like copper, brass, bronze, silver, and gold, the requirements on you get greater and greater.
Oh, Corey. Great. I was hoping for silver, admittedly, but
yeah. Silver's like right below gold. I can actually, if you want to, I can actually just tell you what the level is for these.
Sure.
Just so you can kind of get an idea of how much you might want to think in advance for this.
Yeah.
So the copper one, which is the lowest, you have to be level 12.
We are level 8 last I checked? Or 9?
9.
Yeah. Okay.
You do also, so here's kind of like an example of how the ritual goes. You have to, there's an incantation which looks like it's not much more than a pledge of loyalty, but there are things you have to do. The first thing, you actually have to sacrifice a magic item in exchange for it. And if it is like a copper, it has to be very rare. Silver, gold, it has to be legendary.
We're not sacrificing Dawnbringer.
Wait, that's a good idea.
No,
listen, Dawnbringer, this is great. It's going to bond me to a dragon of goodness. We're going to use all it. Out of curiosity, what does sacrifice mean in this context? Like, I get that we lose the
It's
item.
consumed in the ritual.
Okay, so it's the component.
Yes. It also requires things like, for example, copper, you have to continuously coat the egg with acid, and it can take weeks and weeks to hatch.
Oh, geez.
So this is very involved.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a literal sacred rite of Bahamut.
Yeah.
And also there's like clauses here where like if you ever break the oath, the bond just ends immediately.
So paladin.
You also have to say the oath in the Draconic language, but you don't need to know Draconic because it's spelled out.
Oh, thank God. It's like months learning a new language.
Yes. You can, or you can be coached by someone who does if you really want to make it eloquent. But
suddenly picturing
like literally, like when the oath is being spoken as the egg is hatching, like the energy from the magic item gets drained and is used to bind it. So the magic item just like doesn't like explode, but it loses its magic properties.
Yeah. Well, there you go. See, you'll still keep Dawnbringer. Kind of.
No.
There'll still be a sword involved.
Yeah. Just no light anymore.
Yeah. Or sentience.
Or talking. Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll go on and they'll talk to you some more about some stuff, and they'll say that they are still recovering like things from the knights. Like there's quests that they have to go on to find things, because it was also, and she knows this, there are ancient rites and formulas that the knights knew which were able to empower magic items in ways only the knights could.
Oh, so like a talking sword, I could empower it even further.
Yes.
I say that in character and out loud.
He says, yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
It's possible that we could find something that I don't even know about. Like I was not the studious one, so I only know of what I saw. There were things such as, and she actually like pokes her staff. She says, "This is such an item. This is a staff that can just call down lightning and thunder from wherever I am." And of course, it's still shaped in the symbol of Bahamut, as it should be. But I've not encountered anything quite like this in my travels. This is, these are things that we seek to replicate.
Interesting. Okay, I'm with it. I like it.
I'll ask
this sounds like a long-term endeavor, but something I think I'm willing to commit to.
If you find anyone you think would be worthy of this order, and it has to be someone very you absolutely trust, and short of a vision from Bahamut, you really, really know, and you know that they would fit in with us. Send them.
There's this orc I know.
To me. An orc, really?
I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm sorry. He's a good dude. He's a good dude, but
I don't think I will remain in Gracklestugh for long, since my vision, my quest here is complete upon meeting you. I am. Hold on 1 second.
I'm gonna roll a dice.
Yes, actually, yes.
In universe, she rolls a dice to decide where she's going.
Yes. There is a chromatic dragon lair that I know of. And he had a fondness a long time ago for stealing chromatic dragon eggs. This is miles and miles on the surface. That is my next destination. So I suspect if that dragon still lives, we'll find more eggs there.
Okay. I assume she gives me some kind of idea of where this place is.
Yes, Anarok.
Where?
Anarok. There is a desert, a large desert.
Okay. I will no longer question that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when she says that in character, I'm just going to pause for a second. Like, okay.
There is a blue dragon that resides there. They're called the Doom of the Desert.
Okay.
And I will be seeking them out to scout it out and see if I can recover any eggs there that may be in the lair. I suspect that they'll be quite a bit more powerful, since I haven't been up there in quite some time.
It's also probably a good thing to get you out of the Underdark right now.
Yes. Lord knows I don't want to be here any longer than I have to.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I think I'll probably be teleporting out of here very soon now.
Don't blame me. Okay.
Is there anywhere that you wish to go? Well, I'm going. I can take people with me.
What's
as long as
range?
I know. How far is teleport?
I don't know in 50.
I think it has to be on the same plane.
I'm pretty sure it has to be on the same plane. I know greater teleport can just be insane. And then there's epic teleport, which most people don't even know exists, which is ooh.
Yep. So you'll say it has to be on the same plane of existence. So unless you've got a place to go that's really strange, which would be fine. I also, depending on how well I know it, we may or may not land on target. So if it's a place that I know nothing about, it may be somewhere that, well, let me see. Let me look at my spell list.
Have you ever heard of Selgaunt?
Oh no, God, I'm a smart sorcerer. All right, because I have scrying.
Hey.
So if you can describe the place to me over the course of days, I can become familiar with it.
Interesting. So there's this place called Selgaunt, right?
Okay.
Or you could describe us.
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking
Yes.
that because that's a much better app. So I'm going to describe.
Just clavicle.
I was actually just about to
Jesus.
say. So there's this sentient gelatinous cube that's one of my best friends, and
I just want to say she thinks for a second. She goes, "Oh, Selgon. Yeah, that's a small town on the water."
yes. Rewind. So I'm going to start describing Liam. Actually, no, not Liam. Sorry, let's do Taston. Or I guess I could do both. It doesn't really matter.
Do you have anything from them? A possession of theirs? Any clothing they formerly wore? If you have, this sounds a bit crude, but trust me, any body pieces of them that would help as well.
Well, actually, it happened.
Got his hand.
Just like a bit of hair.
Well, I don't mean to brag about my hair collection, but let's just say I've
Wow.
Like wizards, I've seen wizards who have very weird things. Nothing would surprise me.
I can imagine. No, I do have this ring of spell storing that Liam gave me. I don't know.
Oh, that'll work.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yes.
Yay.
That'll act. I will have to hold it, but I'll get it back to you.
It's empty, right? It's been empty for a while at this point.
Well, do you need something in it?
Yes. What's your best level 5 spell?
Let's see. Well, scrying is fine. Well, let me ask you this: what do you want to be able to do with it? And maybe I'd be able to better put something in here.
I want to be big. Sorry, movie
Okay,
reference.
Tom Hanks.
I have something
I know,
for
right?
that. It may not be exactly what you want, but I have something for that.
Thor's
Polymorph?
No. Although actually that could be extraordinarily useful, but no. Although how long does polymorph last in 50?
Polymath. Let's see. Polymorph lasts for an hour and it is concentration.
That is still pretty good. Yes, by all means, polymorph, please.
Okay, that is the 4th level. So,
and magic missile.
I have magic missile because
Everyone has magic missile.
I'm a good sorcerer.
What's a level 1? Liam, help me. What's a good level 1 spell?
So I can give you shield.
Can I even benefit from shield?
Reaction +5 to AC until the start of your turn.
Oh wow, so it's a 1 round.
Or false life.
I don't have false life, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Okay, chromatic orb, detect magic, missile, and
do you
shield.
have expeditious retreat?
I do not. I never retreat. I'm a knight of Bahamut.
Of course not. I wouldn't either. I would retreat towards the enemy.
Shield's not bad. Shield might be.
Yeah, let's go shield.
Yeah.
Let's go shield. Polymorph and shield. Screw it.
Shield. I have polymorph and shield in it.
I'll go ahead and jot that down real quick here.
All right. And just Liam. Okay, describe Liam to me.
Describe.
7 foot tall.
Please don't
half-orc.
actually make. I don't know what his character looks like at all. He is a stalwart ally. He is a great companion. He is a priest of Kalimdor, cleric of Kalimdor. Excuse me. His brother has issues, which hopefully he's getting dealt with. What?
Wait, are we doing Liam or Taston?
Taston.
Okay.
Oh.
No, Liam is a priest of Kalimdor. Actually, that'd be funny. In character, I totally have the two characters. Like, what is that one again? There's the tall one and the other tall one. I usually just see the knees.
Say,
so.
if you completely misdescribe them, she doesn't get the bonus.
No, I will describe, Taston, and I will also mention Dawnbringer in there just in case that even matters.
All right. So she pulls out a crystal ball.
Oh, I knew it. I'm not paying.
Oh, well, okay. No, and yeah, a deck of cards. No, she pulls out a crystal ball and stares into it. And she seems to be a little old-fashioned. She does the whole with it. Yeah, and Testa, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
And since you don't know it's benign, it's just walking along the road.
Yep.
Thumbs up.
22.
That's a really good wisdom saving roll.
Okay.
It's one I have.
She stares into a ball and then she sighs. She says, "Seems I wasn't able to reach him." He seems to have. He doesn't know that I'm doing it. He seems to have resisted the spell.
No, that makes sense. And
is there anyone else that might?
Yeah. So I'm going to describe. No, I can't. What's Bren's wisdom save?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because I have to look it up.
Damn it. I was thinking Ront, but I'm not 100% sure in character if Ront's still with them right now. So I'd go with the safer bet.
It'd be a good guess that he's probably gone because he already said bye to you. Actually, no, because you can communicate with Bren.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. But only once a day, and I don't think it's come up yet. So either way, I'm not going to risk Ron.
So you want to describe Bren?
Yeah. So
all right, describe a dog. Hold on. Roll a D100. I want to see if you have some of his hair on you.
Oh Jesus! I mean, you know, I still have my sister's dog's hair on quite a bit of my clothing as of this moment. So that is a straight 80.
Okay. You do like pat yourself down, and you're like, I mean, you know how it works. You're like, oh, pet hair.
Yeah.
She's like, this will help immensely. Because it's harder for me to do if I've only heard of the person, but if I have a piece of them, it gets very, very easy.
Okay. I'm ready.
And she casts so watch Bren like roll natural 20. All right.
Stop resisting.
Actually, you know what? It is impossible for him to make it because she has the piece. We can't make it. So you see her stop as she's just like staring off into the distance, into the crystal ball, and she says, "Well, I see. Well, this is certainly an interesting crew here. There's a gelatinous cube following them."
Yep, he's awesome. That's not cool.
So I see gelatinous cube. I see your friend Bren. There seems to be a half orc. There seems to be several humans. Looks to be people of the cloth. Okay, yeah, this is definitely them. Let me look around for a little bit. And she concentrates on this for several minutes. And says, "Okay, do you want to go straight to them?"
Yeah. If it is within your power, I request this formally, please.
All right. So without looking at you, she holds out her hand like she wants you to grab it.
All right.
And you die.
I knew it. Damn it! All that. That's a slow roll right there.
I still have to roll for this.
She rolls a 2.
Exactly.
God, that would just be the worst.
No, she says a word of power and go. Now here's the thing. I got to make a Phasers roll.
Oh
no!
Summon a unicorn. Summon a unicorn.
No, it's not that. Don't worry. This is actually something you've not encountered before.
Where are you going to be?
Oh no.
Yeah, because no one up to this point has actually personally experienced a long distance teleportation through Phasers.
That's true. Yeah, meanwhile, Mark appears on the surface of the sun for about 1 femtosecond.
Actually, this is a good thing because you're about to learn a property of Phasers that is probably good to learn now rather than later on.
Oh, goody.
Okay.
This is lovely. I can already tell.
So, Mark, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. So, have you done short distance teleportation before?
In character, no.
Character, no. Okay. So, just before you disappear, like you feel her hand just like grab you, like something like I mean, you felt people grab you when they're shocked or surprised or got stabbed or something like that. That's what it feels like there's a sudden like reaction as she like tenses up, and something feels wrong. Like you see flashes of phasers, colored lights just dancing in front of your eyes. It almost seems like I mean, you've never teleported before, but you're pretty sure this ain't it.
Yeah.
Like something's resisting. So what is your Constitution saving throw?
15.
15. Okay. So you steel yourself and you're like, I gotta power through this. I gotta power through this. I can't let this just slap me around. You make the save.
Right here. I'm ready. Oh, we made. Oh, thank God. Yeah, that was not a great roll. So I was worried on that.
I have to make a roll for her.
And I saw the comment. I haven't died that much today.
Okay.
Wait, I guess, yeah.
And now, would you like to
where would you like to die? Well, you know.
Would you like to know more?
Yep. So go ahead and roll a D100.
Jeez. Okay. The D100s have been consistently high, so that's a 14.
14. Okay.
And open my mouth.
Right.
Y'all remember the transporter failure from Star Trek: The Motion Picture?
Oh God.
Yeah. When we got back here, probably didn't live very long.
It's not the worst result. Don't worry.
It's not the worst result. You know, I end up in Menza Baranza. That's where I am.
Technically possible, but the odds would be insane.
Jeez.
Stranger things have happened, though. I know it was on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So how horrible is this? I'm ready. I'm ready for death. I'm in the nether of Minecraft.
Okay. So, sorry, there's a lot of if this, if that, if this, if that I'm having to look at. Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. So go ahead and roll another D100.
Oh my God. This is getting terrifying.
Be fine.
44.
44. Okay. All right. So you, first of all, take some damage.
Ugh.
As it seems that just raw magical force just assaults you. You definitely feel like it's not as bad as it could have been.
Okay.
So you take 11 points of force damage.
Oof. All right.
And you appear amongst you hear like, so all of you up there on the surface hear a pop. And Liam, you're like instantly familiar with what a teleportation coming in sounds like. And yep. And perfectly in the midst of you appears a woman
bad guys.
who's blinking a bit, and this is Solda. You've heard the description of her already. You know, her full skin, kind of like wavy, flowing, bluish hair. Seems like she just stepped out of water for some reason, and she is holding out a hand like she was holding somebody.
Oh no.
And she isn't any longer.
And she pops herself off. She looks like she took a oh yeah, she took more damage than you did. It looks like she doubles over a little bit as if some like invisible force just punched her in the stomach. And she goes, ooh. Then looks up at her hand, she goes, oh no.
Oh God.
Apologies, don't attack me. Mark should have come with me, but something went terribly wrong.
Define terribly wrong.
Meanwhile,
That's the same segue.
Mark, you appear. Let's do this. Make me 2 D100 rolls again.
All right, hang on. First D100. is 1.
1. Okay.
I'm not sure I've ever rolled a 1 on a D100 before. The other one's 51.
Okay. So, okay, right on.
That's
All
not
right,
what I
so-
want to hear.
No.
No, it's okay. This is actually not bad. I just had to determine where you're coming out. So you appear in the midst of a group of people who there seems to be a half-orc. There are a couple of humans. They are dragging along a large granite cube behind them. And there is looks like a sheepdog who is next to someone else who's just traveling along.
That's great.
And they look at you in surprise as you appear in the midst of them. This looks like a very, very similar location, but this is obviously not the right group.
So I am above ground.
Yeah, they look at you, they just blink and stop as you just appear in the middle of them. You notice that Sildale, who formerly held your hand, is not there anymore.
Yeah, I caught that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a Constitution save against the sun.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
it is.
I just teleported from months of the Underdark into sunlight. I rolled a 2 on the dice.
Oh, jeez.
So
retinas are gone.
yeah, this God. And you so have any of you ever gotten snow blindness?
No one knows what they're
It's really unique and kind of a horrifying sensation, actually.
It sounds like the worst.
It really, because it's when the sun's coming out at the perfect angle, and so you can't get away from it. You can't get away
you
from
just
it.
do this. You can't
just
do it.
Yeah,
everywhere.
no, it's just this is, and you try to open a little bit, and your eyes the muscles will not listen to you. They will refuse because the level of light coming in. It's bizarre and horrifying. So that's what I'm picturing right now. Is I'm just
Yeah. You hear the half-orc say, "Are you all right, sir?"
oh,
It's okay. I'm a clerik. I can help.
It's in my soul.
sorry.
That's funny.
Oh my god! And I'm like, nope, still nothing. But
So-
yeah.
Before you get too far, Cord did purchase a reroll.
It's a little too late.
Okay.
Yeah, we should bank that anyway. So
Okay.
Yeah.
so we have a reroll banked. So I'm just like, oh my god, yes, thank you. Sorry, a companion of mine was teleporting me to the rest of my party, and I can tell based on the sound that this is not it. I'm just like trying to mimic looking around, but my eyes are not opening at all right
Hear
now.
someone say, "I think someone just teleported in here." Is that what you did?
Yes, that was me. Although I don't know how to teleport. Obviously, I have a humble mother.
Oh, must have suffered the mishap.
Yes, there's been. I deeply apologize for the intrusion. Could you tell me where I am, please?
Of course, you're a couple miles south of Baldur's Gate.
Oh my god. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Okay. Thank you for telling me that, sir. I really hate to be in a position. I have been in the Underdark for a few months now. Could you at least could I travel with you temporarily until I can get my eyes back?
Of course, it's not a problem at all.
Thank you.
You've been in the Underdark. You must have had quite a harrowing experience, and no wonder you want to get out of there.
Yes, you have no idea. Can I roll insight at disadvantage to tell if these people are about to rob me and steal my kidneys?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, that's so mean.
So I gave myself disadvantage on that, so that's going to be a 7.
A 7. You don't feel like they're about ready to shank you and steal your stuff or anything.
Okay.
The impression you get is they're more curious and a little bit confused. You kind of sense they maybe think you're a little not so.
I mean,
but you did just teleport in the middle of them, so they're just trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, no, I understand. I apologize for the imposition. Thank you very much. I am so sorry. And if they want me to chat, I will chat. I will probably keep a few things from them, but I will be open.
Oh, they're very interested. They will tell you that they are headed away from Baldur's Gate.
Oh, where are you heading?
Well, we don't. And as your eyes are adjusting, you're at least able to see a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You do see that you are this group, this individual is not the only people on the road. There actually seems to be people heading out of Baldur's Gate, like there's people leaving it. And they say, well, we're not rightly sure, but anywhere that's not Baldur's Gate, there's some communities and settlements. Baldur's Gate just become a cesspit. It was bad before, and now it's even worse.
Oh wow, what happened? If you don't mind my asking.
The local lords there, like Lord Ravengard, have just gone stupid. I don't know of another way to say it. There's been a lot of infighting amongst the nobles there and amongst the Flaming Fists. It's just become a mob town in very, very short order. Plus, there's rumors of cults springing up all over the place. It is just not a place you want to be in right now, unfortunately. And a lot of people agree. We were thinking of maybe, I don't know, going to try and seeing if we could get some sort of entrance to Candlekeep and at least staying there for a while to try and figure out our next move. And I think our friend here, Any Motions, to one of the humans who, at this point, you've learned is a wizarding sort.
Mm-hmm.
Has some knowledge that might be able to get us in there, and at least that's shelter for now while we figure out what to do next. This came very suddenly. If you've been in the Underdark, you really haven't heard a lot about what's going on around here.
No.
Unfortunately, there was an accident at the Golden Fields, or so we've heard, and the upcoming winter is going to be hard for everybody.
Interesting.
Um,
Any three-headed goats?
Three-headed goats.
No. Okay.
Not three-headed goats, but there's been a lot of, the farm's been having a lot of trouble. This is what the word has been. Livestock trouble, crop trouble, and especially with Golden Fields being, unfortunately, the rumor is that there was a fire. There's going to be little food for people this winter.
Oh, that's bad.
And just for our viewers, Golden Fields is kind of like the breadbasket of a lot of the regions around here.
Yeah, sorry, I should have shared that.
Yeah,
that, obviously.
So that's kind of like hearing that, I don't know, the U.S. breadbasket area just burned.
It's almost like it was a dust bowl. Which, for anybody who haven't studied it, you should go study it. It's absolutely horrifying. It's a very grim thing. All right, that's awful and terrible, and I don't even know what to do about that. That's wow. Okay, you're heading to Candlekeep. I doubt Candlekeep would take me, but if it's okay with you, if I could travel with you, so I could at least not just be sitting on the road blind for the next several hours, I would greatly appreciate it.
Of course, you're free to do so.
And I will regale them if asked about the demonic invasion that's currently happening, and I will share that and mention that's what I have been doing and why I'm on the surface now. Not to flee. This is a reinforcement route. Like this is recouping.
They don't really seem to know anything about that. The cleric will scratch his chin and say that would, if really that has been building up in the Underdark, that would actually explain a great many of things that are happening on here. I'm not an expert in demonology, but the attitude changes. Yeah. The attitude changes of people, if they're being influenced by that would very much explain what is happening.
Yes. You should cut to the other party now.
Yes, I cut to the other party, and you get, long story short, you get a brief from Soldil about what happened, so you're caught up. And she says, well, tomorrow I can try and fix this. No, I'm sorry. Today I can try and fix this, because I can upbreak things. So sorry. I'm Soldil, pleasure to meet you. Mark was supposed to be with me. There seems to be something very, very odd that is affecting teleportation in the Underdark, won't you know? And she describes it a bit, and Liam, you are instantly like, that's Phasers.
I've got this crystal that can have the same effect if you need it.
Oh, I don't think I want that effect again, thank you.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, no. But I'll tell you what. I was going to save my last slot to go to Enrock, but I think it's only fitting that I try and bring Mark back here. Maybe tomorrow before I can bring him back, but I can at least try and get to them and bring him back here. Sound good?
That'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
It'd probably be best to not leave him on his own right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, please don't have a good wisdom save. Does anyone have a procession or garment or any hair from Mark?
He's bald.
Oh. Bald people are hard to scry on, wouldn't you know?
It is. It's
Maybe that's why all of the, I just realized I may have figured out why all the red wizards are bald.
It makes so much sense in lore. I swear there's something I had that I gave you guys, but it's just spacing me right now.
I'm looking.
Well, it will be easier since I have actually, met him. I tried, and she points at Tass, I tried scrying on you, but your mind is so strong that I just could not get through.
We had some illithid problems earlier on, so I've been somewhat guarded.
Oh, understandable.
Yeah, my wisdom saving throw is +8.
Yeah. Clark like scrying me? I don't think so.
Not today.
Not today, Satan.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything.
Well, can I use the quartz obelisk crystal to scry on Marek and use that as a bridge for her? Or the mirror. But the mirror is going to be out of time. In as much as the sequence for him will be out of time.
Right. It's unfortunate unless I can actually see it and perceive it, it's not going to work. Well, it's okay. I mean, since this is going to be a lot easier that I've actually met him and it's not just someone I've heard about.
By the way, you want to hear something funny?
Mm-hmm.
I have Ash's hair on me.
Yep, you do.
Yeah, it was part of the whole thing. It was part of the this is the sign that you owe us, and we can track you with it.
Makes it super
Now
easy
more
to
than ever.
scry.
Unless we try and transport back through the Phasers to Mesobranson.
Well, here I have something that I could do, and I think this should work. And she performs a spell that you're actually very intimately familiar with, Liam, called Prestidigitation.
Ah, okay.
And she makes a rough likeness of Mark on the ground, kind of just almost like somebody splattered it and discolored it. She says, all right.
Stick figure, got it.
Mm-hmm. He was flexing all the time when I met him. Does he normally do that?
Typical.
Could I contribute to that?
How so?
Using my prestidigitation?
Or the mirror.
You can. Unfortunately,
Wait, hold up. Use the mirror.
Right,
Well,
but
again, it's going to be out of time.
You'd be out of
cares?
sequence.
it's going to
still
see Mark
me.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. All she
I
needs
mean,
to do is see the target.
Ooh, okay. I don't have a problem doing that, but it's just in my head, I'm like, yeah, she sees you and then goes to teleport you, but since you're not where you are actually at the time of the sequence of the viewing,
Well, she's going to use his likeness for the scrying, not for the actual.
This isn't for the
teleportation.
teleportation.
okay. Because like, I don't want to make this worse.
Would be Dragon Riders of Pern.
Actually, matter of fact, if you have a mirror, I can use that as the focus for the scrying too. I don't know how that's going to interact, to be honest.
Well, okay, we can give it a try.
I love trying new magic things.
So, I'm assuming that I would take that focus on Mark to bring up an image of him at some point. Can I try and fudge that and understand that he's most likely not in the Underdark? So focus on that, or would that focus on maybe now or years ago when none of us were in the Underdark? Or does that have an impact?
You can try and see what happens.
My favorite quote in D&D. All right. What do I roll for that?
So this is manipulating a magic item. That would be Intelligence Arcana.
Great. A flat 0 roll. Liam?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to describe what you're trying to do to me, if you want to try and describe what you're trying to do to me.
To you. Yes, no, I got it. It's funny, but I still got what you meant.
Yeah.
So I hand you the mirror, like, okay, we're trying to focus on Mark to be able to get the image basically get the magical lock, so the transporter buffer can get a better lock on his signal, so it can boost the power from the warp core.
Okay.
So can I then aid? No, I wouldn't be aiding because I'm just handing in the mirror.
So that's a 19.
19 total?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and this is really just for like how am I going to do this? How is this even going to work? So, Liam, you suspect that you're actually going to have to force your raw spellcasting prowess onto this thing to try and make it do what you want it to do. There's no built-in way to do this. This is going to be a straight up spellcasting check in order to even try this.
Okay.
Which is basically your spellcasting ability modifier versus a DC. So if your intelligence is +5, that's the bonus. Or if your wisdom is a +5, that's the bonus for you, Teston.
Okay.
All right.
It does not seem like it's going to be incredibly easy either.
Now, I do have one other possibly clever idea.
Okay. So
this is just
Fireball.
Well, that's always a go-to, but
take that.
So we're just trying to basically create an image of Mark for this spellcaster to focus on, right?
Yes.
The more accurate, the better.
Okay. I could cast Phantasmal Force on them. To give them the image of Mark to focus on.
Yes. Yes, you could.
Okay. So I mean, we can try the mirror first. If that doesn't work, I can burn the spell. Okay.
Sounds rational.
So this is a straight D20 plus the intelligence modifier, right?
That is correct.
Okay. 16.
16. Okay. Unfortunately, you don't seem to be able to get it to do what you want. You sense this is super difficult to make it bend the way it's not designed to do. It was a good effort, but it's like this. I mean, this stuff is hard. So let's see what it shows.
Because Mark is a child.
Actually, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Perfect.
So I was actually thinking about what time period you hit and what you hit, but I'll admit I only went back to like teenage years. So
it's earlier than that.
like how earlier? Like give me a range here.
What were you doing about 3?
So I'm a dwarf. So I
Learning how to
just
walk.
picked up my first smithing. I was smithing on the forge, and I was really curious about the anvil because it was glowing red. I was like, "What's this?" And they were like, "Oh, well, that's the anvil. It's hot." And so and then like 3 or 4 more times before I figured out that I shouldn't touch the hot thing.
You see, naturally just falls into this punching form, and you're like,
Yeah.
No.
I mold my fists with the anvil.
So I think that plays, and then there's just like silence after looking at that. She says, "I don't think that's going to work."
Well, I have another idea.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to be willing to not fight the effect.
I'm listening.
So kind of like how you were trying to scry on Taston here. I can force an image into your mind of Mark for you to focus on.
Just okay. Very well. And she takes a stance like she's preparing for it. She says, "Hit me with it."
I cast Phantasmal Force.
Okay.
She burst into flames.
And she goes, all right. She makes, and she looks and she says, yes, this is working. This is working. Now let's see. And she pulls out the crystal ball and go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw, Mark.
The hairs on the back of your neck stand up.
Not again. Not again.
One.
We have a disadvantage mage. So I'm going to roll that
Okay.
because I'm pretty sure I'm going to succeed at those. Okay. It's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay. So she's looking into the distance. She is focusing on the ball as well. She says, I have him. Yes. Oh, well, that's quite interesting. Okay. I think I should be able to reach him with a few more minutes of study. So, all right then. Well, hopefully tomorrow, as soon as I can, I'll be back once I have recharged a bit, and I'll have Mark with me. Farewell.
We look forward to seeing you again soon.
I look forward to seeing everybody very soon, hopefully. Then she cast teleport.
Bam.
Oh, that was eventful.
Do technically have to roll for her.
Oh boy.
It's okay. It's
Either
much
her
better
or
in
Mark
teleporting through
were ever
phasers.
seen
Well,
again.
okay, sure.
I was about to say, so is there phasers up here? Because that would really suck.
Oh, we do not need that.
Okay. So there's a pop in the midst of your group, Mark, and it is literally like right next to you. Just it's okay. Don't be alarmed. It's fine. I'm sure I'm not the first person who's teleporting in your midst. Hello, Mark. Sorry about that.
Oh, thank God. I didn't think it was going to be that fast. I thought I'd be I'm out from it. I turn, I look at her like this. I thought
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I'm afraid I can't do much about that, but I'm sure it'll wear off soon.
no, I'll acclimate. Thank you.
Mhm.
So this fine party is actually helping take care of me, and they're telling me that there is apparently a fire that hit the gold fields. And do you know what those are? Of course you don't.
I don't
There's going to be
actually know.
some farm problems recently, and that's going to lead to food problems, and that has me concerned.
Oh no.
Stupid question. How far from here are those fields?
So it's in the Desrin Valley. Where is this?
I don't even see it on here. Unless it's much further away than I'm thinking. Might be.
I actually don't recall exactly where it is.
Part of the reason I ask is so for the viewers at home, this map that Guido might have on the camera, I don't know what you're.
I do.
This map of Faerun topside, this is really zoomed in. Like this is not actually like the scale is hard to. You can see it in the lower left there. This is like the size of Texas, if that, as opposed to the Underdark thing, which is like the whole freaking Underdark, right? I'm going to bring that up because if it's a little bit further away, that's not the end of the world. I don't see it at all. It should be like right there by the Fields of Green or Fields of the Dead. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Whatever. If it's outside of a day's trip, then this is an irrelevant point. So
I am pretty sure it's outside of Day's trip.
yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let that go immediately. Be like, all right. I suppose we'll just travel for a day with these fine folk, and I'll see if my face can get acclimated to the blinding light.
Oh, yeah. I wish I had something for that. I really do, but
And at
Fortunately
that
not.
exact moment, I realize I have my shades on me.
this is bothering me. Where in the world is this?
It's the Riddick shades, so they have
Okay.
yeah.
We're good. We're good.
Oh well, maybe it's just too small of a thing to really. Oh wait. You know what? Oh, I found it.
Hmm.
Go all the way up north near the Evermoors.
It is much further away than I thought. Yep. Okay. Wow.
You're looking over there.
Yep. All right. That's a little more than a day's trip. Okay. So yeah. So I guess my plan at the moment is just going to be to travel with these people and provide protection if needed for like a day. You know, I can take watch so they don't have to, so they can get a good night's sleep. I'm going to spend the whole time gathering information, just gather information nonstop, whole time.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard the spiels I've given to everybody else. That's basically what you learn. The news you do hear is like some Cult of the Dragon news that seems to greatly upset Soldale.
Yeah,
He's like, I remember those people.
yeah, they're not fun.
No, if that's coming back again, that'd actually be priority number one.
I don't know. I think the gigantic demon invasion might actually be slightly higher priority. Slightly. I could be wrong.
It's a tough one.
Anyways, so I don't have anything planned for the day, right? So we're just waiting a day.
Yep.
So unless you can throw an encounter at us here.
No, there's nothing that's gonna go out and try and mob a bunch of people.
I mean,
I can roll the
ghost.
stupid bandits encounter. No, there's no bandits
I'm ready
that
for stupid.
historically stupid to.
We don't even have to roll for it. It's just
Hey,
the
look.
bandits show up, and I'm like,
Really?
This group just they fall over dead just due to the level difference.
yep. They're just like, oh.
Okay,
You move along. We're waiting for level 0 commoners.
Yep.
Thanks.
so long story short, the days passes uneventfully. Go ahead and make a wisdom save, Bren. He fails. And okay, so the teleport's a little uncomfortable, but Mark, do you want to be teleported back to the group?
No, I want to keep the party even worse split than before.
Cool.
Across the country.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want such a mega split that we will never group up again.
Smart.
Okay.
You gotta think around the GM. That's what that is.
Okay. So this teleport seems to be a lot more difficult than the last one, just due to the nature of teleportation. You seemingly in several points in a teleport for a split second appear like inside the ground, and she goes like, "Oops!" and then.
Oh, goody! That's. I've decided I'm regretting my life choices this whole time.
Yeah. So you both appear with like soil on you. It feels like somebody hit you in the head as well, Mark. You take 11 points of force damage.
Oh my god!
She does as well. She's just inexact science, especially if I've only seen the place once. Oof.
I appreciate the effort, really. I
Yes, you are reunited. And I am off to the Anarok.
Good luck. That place is not as hospitable as it used to be.
Oh, I'm well aware. You know, I don't know why they'd send. You know, this is like the worst luck. The place where a half sea elf has to go is a desert.
I know, right?
You know what? I think I'll just fly. I don't know. I don't trust my teleport much nowadays.
I mean, the Anarok honestly isn't that far from where we are. Really,
Right.
it isn't.
Right. So, if you need to contact me, Mark, see what is the best. Does any of you know sending by chance?
Liam?
Not yet.
Not yet. But I believe this is something that's on your to-do list, right?
Yes.
Is to pick up that spell. All right, so
But
here's a
we-
thought.
Bryn could do it in the meantime, right?
May I please have a lock of your hair?
Oh, yes, you may.
All right.
And she clips off a little bit and provides it to you.
I am apparently just collecting hair at this point. How do you spell her name?
It's a thing.
I'm looking up. Here,
Ilaria
SUL
S-U-L.
DIL,
D-I-L.
and last name BALD
B-A-L-D.
ORIEL.
So she's bald, but I got some of her hair. Good to know. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so I have a lock of her hair and Ash's hair. I've just got both in like this little container, and I pause and I'm like, I feel weird. Is this
You
normal?
know, when I
Is this how
asked you if you had a
wizards
bunch of hair, you're like, "Oh no, that's weird." Look what's happening
do?
now.
Listen, you did this. I learned this from you.
All right, all right.
So, you know, I turned to the party. It's like, so this is what my day's been like.
Oh yeah, so she does.
All right, she flies and gets out.
Yeah, she actually. Oh, this is a high level sorcerer building. I need to actually see what this looks like, how this actually works. Because like it says you can fly, but
How do?
how do? Sorcerer, dragon sword. Where are you? Oh, okay, straight up. So that's a bonus action, really. So she looks over towards the mountains and she says, "That away," and she just straight up sprouts a pair of dragon wings from her back, metallic dragon
Okay.
wings, and
Okay.
lifts off and starts flying towards the mountains.
I'm gonna have that ability someday.
It's not likely.
Hey,
No, actually, I mean, you kind of different version of that.
I don't know. I'm joking. This is gonna be my actual response. So I'm being flippant.
Mhm.
In character, what I'm actually doing is thank you very, very much. I look forward to interact with you. Good fortune on your journeys. You know, be careful. The Anarch is not for anyone at all, ever.
Ever.
Yeah,
Well,
just no.
you know, if it were easy, then we wouldn't do it, right?
I don't know if I agree with that sentence, but
Well, such is the plight of Knights of Bahamut. It's never easy.
true enough. Either way, good fortune, etc., etc. She flies off.
Thank you, and you too.
So I turn to the party. I'm still squinting a little bit.
Mhm.
I just
To that point, I walk up to you and clasp you on the shoulder so you don't have to look for me. I'm going to go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on you.
oh, thank you.
Considering
yeah,
you've teleported twice and didn't take a beating.
Yeah, I got a little dirt to the face. I'm not 100% sure what that was all about because I couldn't see it the second time.
Right?
Like, there was just Oh, what's that? Just gonna stay still. It's like when you're getting your hair cut, except much, much more terrifying. Just stay still. Whoops.
This is 11, 8.
No, you didn't want that mohawk anyway, right?
So 19.
Okay, that'll push me up to full. All right. I give Brent some scritches.
Oh, well, glad you're back. That seems like, that's great that you're eating something like that. I kind of wish you'd run into an Aster, but
no, it's all good. I'm hopeful that Liam someday will have such tremendous teleportative
apparative.
Sure, we'll go with that. It's apparative power.
Yeah, because he should have that power.
I think that would be terrifying, actually. If he
Absolutely would.
You ever heard me rant in like every Star Trek video about how the transporter is a terrifying weapon?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Right next to the holodeck.
Okay, so
Two most dangerous things on a ship.
Yeah, actually, one of the most dangerous things in D&D is a spellcaster that can teleport and a spellcaster knows fireball.
yeah.
Teleport, reaction, fireball. There you go.
Oh, just why?
Yep.
Just why?
It's
What?
Mage Sudden Apparative Task Force. Anyway,
So we finally regroup.
but you travel for some more time. Much easier traveling over here than in the Underdark. You see some more, refugees, hear similar stories, and you do see a very curious sight after about a week or so of traveling, and that is coming from the south, way up in the sky. There seems to be a chromatic dragon. Greenish, maybe it's a little far away, but I mean, everybody's like, oh, look at that. And it seems to be flying in a northwestern direction with great speed.
All three of us are just like, we've already killed a red.
Yeah, everybody's like, oh, dragon, whatever.
Yeah, been there.
But no, it is a very uncommon and potentially terrifying sight to a lot of these people, but it doesn't seem to pay them heed. And as you get closer to Selgaunt, you meet some refugees coming the other way, away from Selgaunt.
All right, so I will make a point. Sorry, I've been talking to him, so let me let you guys do this. I apologize.
Exactly, Cord.
So as they're coming this way, I'll see if I can just politely kind of trot up and walk with them while they're going the other direction and ask them like what news from Selgaunt.
But yeah, they'll freely tell you, and there's other people who are traveling along the road with you who are asking the same thing, because they're like, well, I was going this way to get away from problems. What's happening now? The story seems to be kind of the same as the people coming from Hillsfar and Mulmaster from the north. They were escaping a sudden rise in corruption and problems, and the people coming from Selgaunt seem to be doing the same thing. So there's like a meeting halfway where everybody puts their hands in their hips and like, well, that's a problem. Because they're both going to the other place to escape, apparently, what had befallen both places.
As they're discussing that, I'm going to lean in just really quick and be like, have you guys detected any demonic influence up top yet?
Just to keep an eye out for it, since there's been more reports in the Hillsfar area of livestock being not normal, having to be put down, being bloodthirsty and things like that. But nothing like incredibly overt as of yet, but I'd imagine the Underdark taint has been leaking into the surface, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah, like 3 separate cities, one of which is on the other side of the country, all having the same problem at the same time. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
It's just a coincidence.
Yeah. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 places. Yeah, no, that's normal.
as Cord so eloquently put it a moment ago, that's a Thursday for us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do we want to go assess the town and or do we just want to move on?
I mean, I'm fine with the town. We still need to get your brother, who I see is still with us, to to
I just
safety
don't feel
and
comfortable.
to comfort.
Yeah, I don't know about leaving in a place that's.
If only we could get to Baldur's Gate.
Some of us
Honest,
can.
yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah, no, the obvious. I think hitting the town's a good shit. If absolutely nothing else, I could kind of peek around a little bit and see if there's any green problems around here.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, if the city's safe enough to leave your brother in Kellamvor's hands, then it's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the people coming from there, I mean, they'll be able to tell you a little more in detail about what's exactly happening. It's not like the place has descended into flames or anything like that, but it's more like there's the governor, like the chief administrator, has just gotten so incredibly strict on their businesses. They're just like, look, we're packing up and leaving. There's a lot of high-level corruption and low-level corruption that had been seen a sharp increase, police being paid off when otherwise they wouldn't normally be, people getting very cutthroat in the businesses, people obviously doing favors for each other in the nobility that is directly screwing over the smaller people. And it was just all of a sudden, so it's not like there was just a sudden despot which rose and started slaughtering people. It just got so bad so quickly. They're like, we see the writing on the wall, we're going somewhere else before this gets really bad.
Okay.
So this happened way too suddenly for us to really be comfortable staying here much longer.
I mean, it sounds like Cracklestug. Maybe their mayor was
It does
seduced.
sound a lot like Cracklestug.
Fair.
Maybe their mayor has been seduced by a succubus as well.
Oh,
We do have a good
maybe.
track record with dealing with those.
I was going to say, we've got an app for that.
But yeah,
Right, well,
that's
I mean,
my
we
vote.
can-
Let's
We
do
can
it.
at least check out the city.
Yep. So you continue on for a few more days, and you come into view of Selgond. Pretty nice looking city, all things considered. They've obviously taken a lot of time to make it look nice and appealing. It's very intricate, and the people who are there have a very unique but very nice looking fashion sense. Obviously a wealthy city. And there doesn't seem to be very much problem going in there. Like they check you over, the guards check you over just to make sure that you're not obviously carrying in something that they obviously don't want you to have in there. But when there isn't any rules as far as you can tell saying like, hey, don't carry this thing in particular. They just seem to have a saying called like business is business. So whatever you've got on you, as long as you don't cause trouble with it, you're free to do what you will with it here. You do see people who are a little bit hostile, like almost like they're irritable. And they're being like set off at the smallest things. They seem to be like locals here where somebody has like an argument that just suddenly spirals like out of control super quickly. You do, especially Mark and Taston, there's a little bit of a presence here, which you have sensed before in places like Cracklestug, where you're like, there's some latent demonic influence here. And it seems to be a little bit different, not the actual influence itself, which just seems to be like just coming from the ground, just festering in this place almost. it's almost as if the people here are not resistant to it at all. And something that becomes apparent once you've seen both places like Gracklstugh and this is that the people of Gracklstugh seem to have some sort of natural immunity or resistance to what had been happening, whereas these people do not. So a smaller amount is affecting them much faster. And if you, I guess it would actually be this would be just an intelligent, straight up nature check.
I was going to ask the question, is there a nearby entrance to the Underdark?
Not that you know of. You can make a history check if you'd like, but there's no obvious places that you know of.
That's an 8.
13.
13.
Single
Okay.
digits for me on both.
Yeah. Okay. So, Liam, that was nature for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Liam, the best you can figure is that and this would require some maybe experimentation to see if it's actually confirmed. You do know that Duragar specifically has natural magic resistance, and most creatures in the above world do not. And you suspect that actually has a great deal to do with what's happening here. As a matter of fact, as you think about it, a lot of races of the Underdark do have natural magic resistances. So you're kind of like connecting the dots. You're like, well, maybe that's why it's more powerful in the Underdark, but it's affecting a lot of races less naturally.
Or maybe the Phasers is keeping it in check.
It's true.
Okay.
Lots of theories.
I
But
will do a cursory, are there demons actually here check, but I assume the answer is no.
go ahead and make me an active perception.
Okay.
And you've got
One guy
advantage
in
since
the
you're looking
crowd.
for fiends.
Yeah, I was saying, and I am going to turn on the vision if necessary. Oh, nice. That's going to be a 20, unnatural.
20. Okay. So you do see some, although you very much suspect they're familiars. Like people that have like imps and quasits and stuff. Nothing that's like now, any one of those could be connected to it. But they're like sitting on people's shoulders and helping them conduct business and stuff. You do see a lot of them that are conducting underhanded business, as in AKA stealing things.
Okay, so this is mostly an academic question. But what
Okay.
would happen if I ate a demonic familiar?
If you ate it,
I mean, consume. So you get
yeah.
Screaming.
What happened? Please describe to me what's happening
Yeah.
as I'm eating this thing alive.
Indigestion.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm seeing what happens.
I'm just curious, man.
You suspect it probably wouldn't work because familiars are more of a spell than actual creatures.
So that's why I was wondering, because I wonder if I could consume, if they're actually made of demonic energy, I could hypothetically consume that. And so that's
I'll let you make an intelligence religion. You can have advantage since it's fiend related. Because this,
nice.
like you said, this is a little more academic.
So 20.
20. Okay. So you suspect like straight up like wizarding familiars like that,
Mhm.
or even warlocking familiars, probably no go. However, if you're able to find a warlock that has basically a pact familiar,
Yeah.
that might work. Probably to like less effect, depending on how powerful the warlock in the pact is.
Okay.
That could potentially work because some warlocks can like superpower their familiars.
Yeah.
But in general, if you just like eat a wizard fiendish familiar, that's probably just going to annoy somebody who can cast fireball. So
if I ever need to piss someone off into fighting us, I know exactly what to do.
does it actually cost them gold to resummon this?
Oh, ow.
And into the bottom line.
Is the con loss still a thing in 5e?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Because they turned it into a spell.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But it cost them. It's still a cost. Like it cost them at least an hour to resummon it, and it costs them 10 gold of materials that they have to have and throw into a brass brazier. It's a whole ritual. So you're really going to annoy somebody if you do this. Plus, if it's a warlock with a high level one, then you may try to eat it and then it'll eat you back. All right.
So is there a temple of Kelemvor here?
Yes. It's not a major temple, but it's a temple. And it is staffed. I mean, it's staffed by people. They seem to be fairly busy, but so I think, Tassin, the last time you stepped into a temple of Kelemvor, you probably were not the highest level person there. Now you probably are.
Oh, okay.
So it's like one of those things you're like, you go into your old job and you realize that, oh, wait, I've actually been doing the big stuff and you're still here.
Doing this paperwork.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But, it's maybe you've never been to this particular one, but it's set up in the way that it should be. You see that your brother just almost seems to have a weight lifted off his shoulders as he steps inside. Like, it's like, finally, I'm at a place like this that I have longed for quite some time. And he says, please, I want to begin immediately. Please help me in my penance. There are many things that I have to answer for that I have done, and I would prefer if you were there with me.
You stay here, Test. We're going to go to Baldur's Gate real quick.
Yeah. Right back. So do I do like a religion check to see how typically or estimated amount of time that would take? I mean, I'm fine to stay with him like it's a couple days, but like if this is like multiple 6 months or to a year to bring him back from the brink, like people still need us back at the place. And
so it actually is going to depend on some of your roles. First, we'll go ahead and make me intelligence religions, and you have advantage since you're in your temple and you can consult with the other priests and everything for this.
Okay.
And they're definitely deferring to you for a lot of stuff, though.
That's 16 on the first one and 17 for the second one.
Okay. So you spend some time in contemplation with them and with your brother. And to put it in game terms, what you figure out is that his alignment has actually been forcibly changed.
Indeed.
Yes, just from his time, extended time being on it, his alignment actually is right now chaotic evil.
Okay.
He has like a massive amount of because he's basically fighting his original alignment and his forced alignment are basically fighting each other. Like this is why he has he's been off. He hasn't been like generally the way I remember him. It's bad mojo.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there is a way to help this. It is going to require you to perform rituals and atonements and help him. He in private and with some trusted priest in here, he will tell you more about what has happened. He was forced to do some bad stuff. And he tells you that once this is over, I want to, if you would have me, go back with you, especially if you're planning on going back to the Underdark and fight against Loth the demons and everything that has caused this. There were people like me who had been forced into service.
Okay.
And I want to free them. Whether that means fighting the demons back and going back into the plains, the demon web pits, so be it. That is what I want to do.
And I will stand by you across the board for that.
I don't know, maybe
That is the plan, but I also do need to speak to my friends.
of course.
I can't make the decision for them, but we were planning on returning to the Underdark. But having you by my side would be a dream come true. So having you back is great enough, but also having you by my side as we fight the evil.
So I shall be.
To do.
So I shall be. Now, over the days, I need you to please make a wisdom insight check on this ritual.
Ouch, Cord.
People saying funny stuff.
No.
It's 18 for the first one.
Okay. The rituals are helping, but it's still having no solid effect. You feel like you're like close to a breakthrough, to like cleansing some of this or all of this evil, chaotic magic from him, but so far nothing. Not gonna lie, this is a very hard DC. So meanwhile, are the rest of you just kind of hanging around town? Gladys Cube is kind of a site in the town.
I'm going to anybody who has bacon, I'm going to procure any kind of meat really for the queue to make sure.
Okay. Oh yeah, I mean, so the people here are wealthy enough that you're like, hey, throw some bacon into here, see what happens. They'll be like, oh, okay, we'll just like randomly toss things that they think would be interesting for this cube. You suspect a couple of people probably have these for like personal cleaning. Someone's like, oh, I've got this in my cellar, very handy things.
Yeah, they're amazing. I guess unless there's some specific source of corruption in the area, I'm probably going to just kind of hands off that. Like it feels like this is just latent radiation that's affecting them.
Yeah, the more you spend time here, the more obvious it becomes that basically is it. It's just from all the stuff going on in the Underdark, it's just seeping up here, and the little amounts that are doing that are affecting these people a bit. And you notice some of the same things you saw in like Grackles, but much more magnified, like people getting like said irrationally angry at littlest things, fights breaking out when like really there was no reason to. You do start to see some of that corruption aspect that the people were talking about, even just from being here a few days. It's like people are trying to screw you over every single time that you encounter them. And then they'll turn around and just be like the nicest people to you. It's very, Jekyll and Hyde for a lot of the places you go to. And there's like a super uneasy feeling around here too, because it's like, who knows who's going to screw each other up? Because like it's obvious to the people around here that that's happening as well, and maybe they're like conscious that it's happening to them too, maybe not, but like there's an obvious air of distrust among everyone.
Well, if I may, I think that might be a good pause point given the time.
Yep.
Like he's doing the ritual, Liam wants to do something.
Just really quick, if there are any magic shops where I might be able to acquire scrolls, I do want to see what's available.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, this is a great place to pick up things. So let's see. Are you looking for anything specific, or are you just browsing?
Scrying.
Scrying. Okay.
Beyond that, I didn't really have anything specific in mind. Teleport is level 7. I'm not going to have that until I'm like 13th level. So,
what about sending?
Sending. That's what I meant.
I mean, scrying is also good. Like I'm down with both. But like a town like this, they probably actually have that. This is a decent trading town.
Right.
Yep. Just for kicks and giggles, go ahead and make me a charisma persuasion check, Liam.
Ouch. Okay. Let's see. Persuasion. Okay, so it's a +5. That's an 11.
Okay. I'm just seeing if you run across anything particularly interesting. So scrying, what levels? I'm not scrying, sending. See what level is sending again?
I think it's 3.
Yep, we're looking at a 3rd level. So that is going to be a scroll 3rd level, which is uncommon. Okay. And you're looking to buy it. Not too bad. So they do have spell scrolls of sending. They're 100 gold a pop. And they have a pretty good amount of them. Okay. But let's see how many. They've got 8 that you can find fairly easily.
Would I be able to transcribe it into my spell book, or is this you have the scroll and you have the scroll?
No, they're spell scrolls. You can totally use one to transcribe.
Okay.
So you can just buy one and just be like, I'm going to write this in my spell book.
I want to try that first, yeah.
Okay. So just standard rules for scribing a scroll into your spell book.
Okay. I don't remember what that is off the top of my head. I know I've got it written down somewhere, but...
I mean, there's it consumes a scroll and there's a component cost, but then you permanently have it in your spell book.
Right. Here we go. Because I thought there was a die roll involved as well.
I don't think so.
Each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold pieces. Oh, no, that's it. Okay. So 6 hours and $150 gold. So basically it's, you said it was 100 gold for the scroll itself.
That's right.
So 250 gold. So, and I've still got my hoard from the Dragon's Lair. So,
I mean, if you want to go on a spell scroll buying spree, or even if you want to find other wizards and do spell swaps, this is a good place to do it.
Okay.
Because you can copy it from other wizards as long as you're looking at their spell books.
Okay. I don't think that's something that we need to go over on stream. But
Right.
Yeah. If you want to do like some random rolls of different spells I can acquire from wizards, then we can do that. Or if you have something else in mind, yeah, let's see what's available by finding other wizards first.
Okay, sounds good. So I think we'll end here. Aston, you are still at the temple with your brother, attempting to successfully complete this ritual. Yes.
It's like a tire alignment, but completely worse.
Yeah. It's not great being on these planes for a long time, unfortunately.